Whew. Pardon?
Just like put the windows in. I thought I would have to place it automatically closed. Two.
Alright, I think I'm going live any second. But it's totally fine. Just say whatever you say.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I need Mama Marta's model.
Looking for it to fall. House and then X.
How do you make it big?
Oh, you know.
No. Alright, good evening guys. Marius, good evening. Jelly Bear, hello. Jelly Bearism, hello. Sorry for getting your name.
So cute.
Very cute. Bearded Coyote evening. How's it going, brothers? What is happening? It's Saturday night, which usually means streaming. I'm painting Death Company, painting Spear Guard. Probably just going to put the base coat of Retributor armor on him, and then Death Company Dreadnought. I'm very Death Company focused at the moment, I would say. So we'll just be live for a couple hours, hanging out, chilling. We can answer Blood Angels questions. We can talk about anything else. We'll be live for a few hours. My wife is here tonight. She is playing, decorating her house in World of Warcraft.
Yes.
So if you hear her voice, it is her bitching at World of Warcraft, because she literally went back for the first time in like 18 months today. She'll probably hear her bitching about how
I don't like change.
we don't like change. Cool. Evening, Campbell. How you doing? Have you sold your Reavers yet? I was tempted by Burning Crusade Classic that came out yesterday. Do you know what? A guy at work was asking me if me and the wife were gonna play Burning Crusade Classic. Dude, I don't have time. I like those old expansions, but they are a serious time sink, aren't they? I got far too much Blood Angels to get going with at the moment. Not today, Satan. Yeah, exactly. I've seen how much painting you've been getting done on I was going to say Instagram. It's not Instagram, is it? It's on X. I've seen how much painting you've been getting done on X, Marius. Like, you don't want to waste your time. I don't want to say waste your time going back to WoW, but if you go back to WoW, you're not going to get half that painting done, is it? Hello, Miles. Are you here to revel in your victory from
Oh, you lost.
Wednesday night? Yeah, Miles kicked
You
my
didn't
ass.
tell me that.
I think you were asleep when I came home Wednesday
Oh,
night.
no, yeah, I was.
Because I had to put the bins out and stuff. It wasn't that. I'm not Andrew. I I don't not tell you when I lose games of 40k. Because Andrew's always like every single day in the office, right? Every week, he's like, "Oh, I've got this new list. I'm gonna crush Colin tonight." Like,
And he doesn't.
And then like the next day, like he doesn't mention it at all. And then at like 4 o'clock, I remember he hasn't mentioned it the whole day. And I'm like, "Andrew, did you beat Colin last night?" And he's always like, "Oh, it was so close."
But not that close.
Yeah, but not that close. Like, you know, 20 points close. My gaming against Miles was horrific. I'm actually like. I was going to say, I'm actually kind of surprised that I beat his list the time before when we played, because like he demolished me. I think it was like, it's probably my worst loss of the year actually, because at the GT that was at, the only games I lost were like 8 points and 10 points. Miles beat me by like 30 points. It was rough. Hello, Real Skilling. Good evening. No reveling. Andrew beat Necrons, man. They're kind of easy mode, aren't they? I think the thing with the Necrons is there's just far too many 4-up and far too many feel no pains. And sometimes if you just roll well on all those, it's really difficult. I've only done about 6 models in 4 months. Well, yeah, I mean, I know, but I've seen your progress in the last few weeks, Marius. It looks like you've been getting on really well. I like the guy with the giant banner. Is he the Warden, or is he the Victrix Guard? But the banner looked cool, man. I bet that was fun to paint. So I sprayed this guy a few weeks ago, but I always feel like when you spray with a rattle can for the Retributor armor, you're always better giving it another coat of Retributor armor afterwards. The rattle can doesn't seem to be quite as vibrant as the paint, in my opinion. Hello, mate. Maybe water this paint down a little bit too much, actually. So I haven't bought any new marine models except this ATV for a little while. I'm in 2 minds about the ATV. I still haven't played it since I bought it. I finally got it sprayed red, but I haven't done anything with it. Don't know if I want to say I'm regretting doing it, but it's just not a priority for me right now. Maybe they'll be better in the future. Like I feel like attack bikes were like a core part of the Blood Angels. You know, like I definitely felt like in previous editions, like that my little attack bike squads were like core parts of my army, and now I'm just like. I think it was because the multi-melters used to be quite good at anti-tank, and obviously they're just not that great anymore. I regret not sub-assembling the ATV. Yeah, I did notice that, Mike, when I started undercoating it and realizing that there's like a lot of nukes and crannies that are really difficult to get to. But I don't sub-assemble anything, man. I don't know how you find time for sub-assemblies. You've got kids, right? Like, ugh. I'm forever having to tell my kids to get out of the room because they just like to come in and touch everything as well. I feel like if there were sub-assemblies, I would just be losing half the model.
You have to let them in, but repeatedly tell them not to touch it.
Yeah, you have to... Yeah. I want to like the ATV. 60 points, 12-inch move, 8 wounds. Kind of good gun, kind of tough. I just never managed to squeeze them in. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel like. I feel like I used to like attack bikes a lot, and attack bikes had half the wounds of the ATVs. I think it's just multi-meltas and onslaught cannons are just not that exciting. They were exciting a couple of editions ago. I'm painting Suboden Khan with the rider off the bike. Yeah, I mean, I guess the rider off the bike makes a lot of sense. I've used my Outriders so many times. They are firmly glued on. Hello, Cogger. Good evening. What are you guys all working on? Well, Mike's working on God, I'm going to pronounce that model wrong so many times. Michael is working on a Khan on a bike. How about that? The named one that I can't pronounce. Kinda, now that I've done one blade guard with a spear, I want to make more. I think it looks dope. I really do. I didn't think... You ever do a conversion where you're like, I'm not sure if I'll really like that, and then you do it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. How is making a house?
It's fine.
Just fine?
Yeah. The tutorial is kind of dark, to be honest with you.
I don't remember the last time World of Warcraft had a good tutorial.
Yeah. And it's not that I haven't read it, but I have.
You did actually read the tutorial, okay.
Read it and I listened.
Real Schooling says sub-assemblies and magnets all the way. I don't have kids though. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I used to get so much painted. Like, before I had kids,
then back then, like, oh, just don't have the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But do you remember I had that paint, like I just left all my models set up in the living room, like on the little coffee table we had in the living room. So anytime we were watching something on Netflix, or if I didn't care 100% about it, I was just like, I'm gonna paint, is that okay? And like, I got so much painted, and then obviously the second you have kids and they're like roaming around, you can't leave Warhammer models in the living room, and then maybe one day we'll get back there, and then I'll get shitloads painted again, because you just paint anytime. You're watching the football and it's not that exciting game, because I do still watch football quite a bit, and just paint all the way through the football. This was the blade guard from the Indomitus box, right? Because this is the one that's got like the Necron on the base, right? So it wasn't even that difficult a conversion. It's just like a Blood Angel's shield, a Blood Angel's shoulder pad, Blood Angel's nipple guard thing, a Sanguinary Guard spear, and a Stormcast Eternal. Sorry, I mean a Sanguinary Guard head.
Do you mean a breast?
It's a little shield thing that goes over his nipples.
A nipple shield.
A nipple shield. Nipples are important, yo.
You do get real nipple shields, but I mean, they're not like that.
No.
No.
So what would you call that?
No, it's not a nipple shield.
It's like a pauldron-y thing.
Pauldrons are for your shoulders.
Oh yeah, pauldrons are shoulders. What's this? It's called a tilting shield.
There we are.
Okay.
A titty shield.
A titty shield. Yeah, that's a better. That's why you're here, love, to add humour to the stream. So it's titty shield, and the little Blood Angel's titty shield. No, lots of people are correcting me in chat. It's a tilt shield.
It's an itty bitty titty shield.
It's an itty bitty titty shield. Oh, it's gonna be one of those streams, guys. Buckle up. He looks cool though. I really like him. He might be one of my favourite conversions. Yeah, I think this guy's going to take a long time to do, but I think it's going to be worth it.
So functionally, would that actually tilt? And that's why it's called a tilting shield? Or is it for if they were...
I think it's because he's got a spear, so when he's like ramming a spear forward, he'd be exposing part of his armour,
yeah,
right?
Is it for like, if you could imagine if they were...
Jousting.
Jousting, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it came from. Whether or not they do jousting in Warhammer 40,000, I guess
Seems unlikely.
Seems unlikely. Space Marines do not have horses.
Don't know.
Ironcaster has just finished a Sangre Priest. Hello, Ironcaster. You are someone who I don't know if I've said hello to before. It's always nice to see a new face. Hello, welcome to the channel. If you do get some value out of any of the videos we do, please do consider subscribing. We're here every week. Sometimes you have to put up with me more than once a week as well. Mario says a tilt is the name of that horse thing where they joust together. Yeah, so why have we got them? Because you don't.
Do they ride on horses?
No, Space Marines don't ride on.
Too heavy.
Well, Space Marines are like augmented humans that are supposed to be like super tall and stuff.
You need like a monstrous augmented horse.
You would need a bionic horse or something.
Mechanical horse.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could make mechanical horses, but we don't have them in the current setting. It's a rule of cool, and it's used for heraldry typically. There we go.
There we go.
Having John here more than once a week is almost torture. I appreciate that, Mike.
I feel you, Mike.
Tommy says that he's been out of the hobby since before COVID, but because of one of my videos, he has gone to Games Workshop today.
Wow.
I was going to say, I unfortunately don't get any commission for that, but
But it is lovely.
But it's nice to know that you. Well, is it nice? Because now he's going to have spent all his money and he's going to blame me. He's going to be like, that son of a. That guy John made me buy a box of Death Company.
Well, you can't be held liable.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's something you see an advert for, like, something on TV and you buy it. You know, it is what it is.
My goods are exquisite.
The white scars on bikes must tilt for fun. Yeah, maybe the white scars on bikes have tilting shields. Do they?
Yeah, they could do that on bikes. Wouldn't they?
I feel like bikes would make them
like
most.
high speed jousting.
Yeah. Don't poke the Kenny says I just put together my first 6 Sangre Guard for the Combat Patrol. Now I'm working on Dante and the Sanguinar. They're such great models. Congrats on getting your first 6 together. Fortunately, we're not in the age of you needing 30 Sangre Guard anymore, because that was a thing for a little while where, like, I'd actually just got to 30, and then they went and changed rules so you could only have 18 of them. Not annoying at all, of course. Mephiston's also a very cool model. He might be my favourite of the Primaris characters that we have, I think. You don't need 30, you just have to have 30. Yeah, I mean, they were just too good on the tabletop for a while there, and you kind of felt like you needed to have 30, wasn't it? Tommy says, I got the Combat Patrol and a few of the newer paints. Contrast is all new to me. I've been collecting Blood Angels since 2002, so thinking I just 32mm most stuff to play, then swap to Primaris. Yeah, dude, I have so many of my guys converted to 32mm. You can actually buy 40mm bases and then just super glue the old 32s onto the 40s. So that's what I've been doing for my Sangre Guard. And there's another guy on eBay that I use a lot, because basically I like eBay. So you can get, I think I've got them in my wish list. Let me see that. Yeah, these sort of things. Let me show you these. Right, all you do, you get 5 of these for £1. I feel like they used to be more expensive than 5 for. I think they used to be £2.99 for 5, unless you're just buying one now. No, it says 5. 5.32 to 44. This set consists of 5. Oh, that's. I feel like they used to be £2.99. They're £1 now, apparently. And like, you just literally just slot your old base into them, right? And he does all the different types. You know, so like, whatever eBay came off it. There's a whole section here, you know? So like, if you need 25s to 40s, 32s to 40s, 25s to 32s. He even does the ones for scouts, like 25s to 28s. Man, they're cheap. These are super cheap. Maybe it's competition, because I feel like when I used to buy them, they used to cost like $1.99, $2.99. But now they're just 99p. I should just buy a load of them. They're handy as hell to have. Highly recommend. Did I not buy any new Sangre Guard? I bought the new box, dude. Didn't I get 25 to 32s and then extend them again to 40s? I did, yeah. So I've got some models that are on 2 base extenders from 25s to 32s and then 32s to 40s. I mean, this guy right here, he's on a base extender. That's what it looks like on the underneath, you know? I just fill in the hole around the base. I mean, you can see it there if you're looking closely. I just fill it in with texture paint, or you can use liquid green stuff if you want. Liquid green stuff probably a bit cleaner, but you can use whatever the hell you want. And the new Sangre Garden 40, yeah, they are. So get yourself some 32 to 40 base extenders if you want to use the new Sangre Guard. And they're apparently £1 for 5. I mean, that seems like good value. I mean, I literally just push them into the base extender and put in a tiny little bit of glue. I mean, it says on the eBay listing, and they're no effort. They really are. Dre says, how's it going? Good evening. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, congrats on getting a combat patrol, man. It's I've got the new combat patrol. It is handy to get some jump packs, though. I will say that, like, jump packs are generally pretty handy for Blood Angels players, right? Evening Doggy 7602. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, I didn't realise that they were down to £1 for 5 of them. I'm just probably going to buy 10 of every set, because I've got scouts that still need rebased from 25s to 28s, because scouts are on 28s now. I think I might still have a few Sangre Guard or a few Terminators on small bases that could probably need to go up to 40s. And then I think having some, I've got an assault squad, I know that for sure. So taking the assault squad, which, like, if assault squads ever come back, then they'll be on 32s. They won't be on 25s anymore. So yeah, I'll put in an order for like $5 of base extenders. Yeah, I think they're really good value. Really handy to have as well. Takes, like, if you've got any old metal characters and you want to ever field your metal characters, because sometimes it's cool to just field the old characters. Very handy to have the base extenders. They won't ever do assault marines. Ah, never say never, mate. Come on. That's like saying they won't ever do Primaris tactical squads. I think too many people love tactical squads. I think at some point you'll get some sort of Primaris tactical squad variant. It'll be like an intercessor squad upgrade. I tactical upgrade or something. I don't know, but I feel like you will. I feel like we will eventually get that. What are my thoughts about the last game? I didn't really like my list, I think. I probably didn't play it as well as I could have played. Gene Stealer cults are a tough opponent, man. Like, oh, Zani sneaking in.
I am in the house. I'm here. I thought you were up. I thought you would have known I was here since you were giving me the easy cheese.
I want you to do this for a little while.
Stream just now as well.
Well, she can come in for a few minutes.
Right. Just coming.
Right, 5 minutes and then it's bedtime, okay? Because you've got a birthday party in the morning.
You need to be rested for all that playing you're gonna do, don't you?
Do you not need to increase the height as well? Well, the thing about the new terrain, Marius, is like height doesn't matter nearly as much as it used to matter. Because every piece of every wall is like a uniform height, right? Like if you're playing at tournaments, the height of a firstborn marine versus the height of a Primaris marine is like there's no difference. Or it makes no real difference on the battlefield, I feel like. Well, we see Primaris aircraft. I actually think they're trying to. I think they're going to try and filter out aircraft. I think aircraft are a dying breed. They don't work very well in competitive play. So I feel like I would really recommend not buying aircraft. I feel like it's unless you just want them for the vanity. I don't think aircraft are the future of 40k. You couldn't go wrong with a third Predator. Yeah, I mean, I think another Predator would have helped against Smiles for sure. But the Gene Stealer cults are difficult, right? Because you're better off killing every model in the unit except one, because the second you kill them, they just resurrect on you. What's the most desired kit for new Blood Angels? Land speeders aren't really flyers. I mean like aircraft. I guess there's a difference between aircraft and flyers. I think aircraft are probably getting phased out. James says, what are assault intercessors? Jump intercessors came back. They were assault squads. What are assault squads missing? I don't know if you remember this, James, but Blood Angels assault squads had special rules where we were allowed to take, I think it was 2 Meltaguns and 2 Flamers in the assault squad. So it just gave the assault squad like a little bit more versatility. I mean, you're probably right, assault squads probably aren't coming back. But would I like to maybe at some point rebase my current assault squads and just use them in new 40k? Yeah, probably. Was it 2 special weapons per 10, Phil, or was it 2 special weapons per 5? I can't remember. I thought it was per 10, but maybe I was wrong. I feel like it was nice to have some Meltaguns in the assault squads. And I think that made sense. Like, I never run mine with Flamers, but I liked running them with Meltaguns, because I just felt like a few Meltaguns just gave you potential to like pop a vehicle, or a transport, or kill a character, and then charge something else, right? It was 2 per 5, yeah, so it was 4 Meltaguns in the 10-man squad. Yeah, it just gave that assault, because assault squads are typically like just chainswords, right? That's what jump intercessors are. I guess you could argue they're not quite, because they get some plasma pistols.
Because it looks like a little table for iron.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't know what the future is. The rumor, the big rumor at the moment is that Vanguard Veterans are going to get a refresh for 11th edition, right? Like, that's the rumor, that's what's going to be in the 11th edition starter set, is Vanguard Veterans. Trying to get the Melthas for the models. Do you know, I hate do you remember when you had to have both the arms and they both have to attach to the gun and they have to be glued on at the same time and then they have to be glued onto the shoulder pads? That was nightmarish, wasn't it?
Which one's your favorite?
But yeah, no, I've got an assault squad I would like to rebase at some point. I guess I've been focused on making like the right WYSIWYG jump intercessor style models, which makes sense.
I have awoken.
Hey Marius, thank you so much for becoming a member, dude. I appreciate it. I'm sure you were a member before, but nonetheless, I appreciate you becoming a member, especially since you're an Ultramarines player. Thank you. But you've got Blood Angels models to paint as well, so you should get on that. Seal Pilot says, "Hey mate, still to try Rage Cursed Onslaught. Still doing better with lag. Third in a tournament, which detachment do you think is better?" The win rates are much higher for Rage Cursed Onslaught, man. It's a different sort of a more pressure based detachment. I don't know if you watched the video I made on Friday. But yeah, no, I think in tournament play anyway, Rage Cursed is outperforming lag by like 10%. It's significant. So I would, I think Rage Curse needs a lot of practice. Like, I must have played 10 or 11 games now with it. And like this week I just lost, I kind of want to say I lost pretty badly this week. And I didn't really feel like my list had the answers, so I think Rage Cursed, you probably need to get a good amount of practice with it, but I do think it's stronger than lag. I think it's because
maybe you can a giant fountain and
it's just because your wound rolls are typically going to be better because you've got reroll ones to wound all the time, and then you can get 1 AP on any unit as well, which I think is also really good. And then you get the extra attacks anyway on every unit, but then you get 2 extra attacks on a unit if you're totally desperate. And I feel like the Death Company Dreadnought is also good in Rage Cursed. What's Mrs. BAC up to? She is playing World of Warcraft with our daughter. Our daughter saw World of Warcraft today for the first time. I mean, she's just watching.
yeah, that looks nice.
But our daughter is supposed to be in bed. She'll be going soon, won't you, Annie?
She better have.
Yeah, because what have you got going on in the morning?
That's nice.
A birthday party, and you won't be able to be waking up in the morning. You'll be crabby if you don't get your good sleep.
I'll be crabby.
And then
if
we'll...
you wake up and you're crabby.
Yeah, and then we'll be crabby because you won't be getting out of bed, and we'll be asking over and over for you to come out of bed. Well, Michael won't be crabby, yeah, but
well, actually, that's
but the rest of the family will be crabby. It's I think for the Gene Stealer cults, it's just the fact that they can ignore cover, which is bad for Marines in general, and then they can get +1 AP on everything. So yeah, I mean, he's just hitting my death company with blast las cannons that are AP4 no cover, and it's like,
Probably should have done this.
it's pretty rough, I feel like. I've tried like 2 or 3 different Rage Curse lists. I haven't quite figured out yet what I think is my best Rage Curse list.
What do you want?
I'm gonna keep experimenting. I think I want 3 chaplains though, because I ran 2 this week and I feel like it's not enough. If you want to run Death Company Dreadnoughts, they need to be near chaplains.
It matches the
And I feel like only having 2 chaplains was the wrong number of chaplains. I think I need 3. If I want to run Death Company Dreadnoughts, I think I need 3 chaplains. But I mean, I suppose it just depends on how good you are at playing Blood Angels and how well you are at positioning units. I am enjoying the Ball Predator. I think maybe I just need 1 of them on my list.
You open the door.
Well, the Gene Stealers are strong, Andrew, but like I made some big mistakes, right? In that like second turn, when he moved that unit, he moved a unit of like, I don't know, aberrants or whatever they were, like Gene Stealer cults. He moved them right in front of the Ball Predator. So I'm like, oh, I should flame those because I probably kill the whole unit with the flamers, right? In Overwatch. So I do that, flame the whole unit off the board, and then he just instantly pays like 2 points, puts them back into strategic reserve, and deep strikes them right back down in the exact same turn. So I kill them in his movement phase, and at the end of the movement phase, they're back on the board from the detachment rule. So like in my head, I'm like, that's a huge mistake by me because I wasted my Overwatch. Could have used it on another unit that I could have done a lot of damage to. I kill the unit and then also they're back. Like, so literally I paid 1 CP and accomplished nothing. But that just comes from inexperience, and like I've only played Gene Stealer Cult. I think that might be only my 3rd game against GSC. They're a relatively new army, right? Antonia says if I ever play 10th again, I will have 3 chaplains on my Rage Curse list. You'll get to play 10th again, man. Didn't you just have a kid, though? I didn't get to go to a tournament for like 2 years when I had 2 super young kids.
Well, clearly we're different people. His partner and
Well, I know that. I'm just saying. It can be hard to find the work-life balance. That's the wrong thing. The Warhammer wife balance. How about that? I should trademark that. The Warhammer wife balance. I like that actually. I need some red paint.
You can go outside.
Red paint. You know, someone in my last stream was like, "What's wrong with your paints? What wet palette are you using?" I was like, "Dude, are you trolling me? You would like an iPad in your room?"
shaming you for your paints and your paint.
Once I know how to play this game properly, I would like an iPad in my room.
Well, it's not an iPad that you play World of Warcraft on, sweetheart. It's a computer you would need.
Can I have a computer?
Yes, you can have a computer, but when you're a little bit older, okay?
That is still enough. Like it is.
What, this? No, it's left.
I think it's because you're annoying, Marius. Your missus is just wanting you to...
Obviously.
Yeah. She just can't wait to get you out of the house.
Doesn't go anywhere.
No. This is
yeah, no, I think that I think Rage Curse into that Gene Stealer list was just difficult. I feel like I would do a lot better if we do a rematch. But yeah, no, someone was making fun of my paints because I think a few of my paints have gone quite solid.
There's a giant fountain outside in the garden.
But here's the thing, if you only paint a couple of times a week and you don't use the colours very often, they are going to get neglected. And I don't know what I can do about that. Like I said, I used to have my paints on the living room table. That was when I didn't have kids, so I could just paint any night at my leisure. If you are able to do that, it's glorious. When RAM and PC GPU prices come back to reality, yeah! Computer parts have gone insanity, haven't they? Have I sorted the camera for the next battle rep? Yes. We had to upgrade we had to upgrade the Google Pixel. We had to buy, there was a new version of the software we needed to buy. So I think we're sorted. Me and Andrew looked at it the day after the battle report. So we think we're all sorted. I mean, I believe they streamed on the night after, Thursday night, and I believe there was no issues. I'm just gonna wait, man. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with AI and all that nonsense, but I think the prices of RAM and GPUs and all that, they're just insanity at the moment. I only looked out of curiosity because I didn't actually know what a 5090 costs. And I don't know how it translates to America, but in the UK a 5090 costs like £1,800, which I guess is probably in the region of like pounds to dollars is like 25%. So if something is £100, it's $125. So I think 1,800 probably means somewhere in the region of like 2,500. And the G-Forces at the moment, they're going for like £1,400 over retail. So it's just absolutely insanity. They're almost going for double the retail price. So I figure if I want a new graphics card, I'm just waiting for the next generation. My graphics card's usually okay for rendering videos. It's just occasionally some videos take ages. But I mean, I feel like I can usually render them in the evening. It's fine. No, I mean, I don't think I do need a new one. I was just looking out of curiosity, because I was wondering if it would be like sell my old one and buy a new one, because I can upgrade it rather than like I don't think I would need to buy a whole new PC. It's just the graphics card. Like I think when I'm rendering videos, the graphics card is my bottleneck. Because like if I bring up Task Manager when I'm rendering a video, the Task Manager shows like the GPU at 100% and like the RAM and the CPU and that, they're not getting hit. But I guess if you upgrade the graphics card, you just make something else the bottleneck, right? My PC is 96 gig of RAM. You should just take out like 64 of it, Mike, and just sell it and buy a new car or something. I don't know how much RAM I have. I can't imagine I've got more than 16. Why would I need more than 16? Oh no, I've got 32 RAM. I've got a 3090. I thought it was a good idea to buy the 3090. Honestly, I think it was the wrong call. I think it was a waste of money. I think I should have bought like a 3070 and then upgraded, like you said, Andonius, to like a 5070, because I thought buying the top of the range would make it last longer, but I don't think it's lasted. I think it's the wrong call completely. Oh well, you live and you learn, don't you? That's what they say. But yeah, I bought mine, I think it must be just less than 2 years ago now, and my previous computer was like 10 years old, So I was really hoping that, like, if I bought a 3090, it would last for like a very long time, like 10 years. But no, I think it was totally the wrong call. I should just, like I said, got a smaller one and then been more willing to upgrade. So I don't know if I would ever buy another one of the 90 series or whatever that's called. Because it doesn't seem to have lasted nearly as long as I had hoped it would. And I don't even render my videos out in 4K. Most of them are just 1080. So God knows what graphics card you need if you're going to try and do 4K video.
Oh, there's that cat again. Do you want it in your house?
It's a cat, it's a-
Oh, thought it was a kitty. Do you want the wolf pup in your house?
No, I don't know.
I'm glad that I'm finally playing Lamartes in like a Blood Angels list or army, because I feel like I've had this model for a while and I just wasn't interested in them at all, right? I lucked out, built my PC with overclockers about 1.5 years ago and so many GPU issues that they upgraded me for free. Look at that. You guys all apparently, like, I guess that's what you get when you don't know a lot about. I feel like when I was younger I used to know a lot about computers. I think
You make your computer, it's purple.
Yeah.
Where did it become purple?
it changes all the time, and it's got light inside it. Hey, look at that! Here come 50 gifted! Oh my goodness, dude, thank you. Oh, put some of that towards a new graphics card, eh? 50 gifted, man. You are far too generous, dude. Thank you. Any plans or hopes for 11th edition? Do you know what? What's really interesting, I guess, I must admit, I haven't... I've kind of... would it be fair to say... Tell me if you guys are... if you disagree here, because I could be completely wrong. I've become somewhat numb to thumbnails or videos about rumour content on 40k. Because it just feels like there is so many videos, you know, it's like, here's a rumour about 11th edition, here's a rumour about 11th edition, here's a rumour about 11th edition. I'm like, I just want to know what's happening. I finally got to my computer so I could get the gifted in. It's been far too long. It hasn't been far too long, dude. I think it's been about a month. Didn't you give me like 50 gifted on the Christmas stream? Yeah, please do. If you got gifted, please do come and check out our Discord. We have a members only room. I try and make a habit of answering questions or talking in there every single day if I can.
Do you want the tree?
I super appreciate that, dude. I wonder if I Have Awoken will last the rest of the stream. Apparently, because I still don't know how to turn that off.
I have awoken.
It's a classic from... You know when we get the new Dawn of War game? Maybe there'll be like a new Dreadnought voice line we can replace the I Have Awoken with. I'm holding my breath for 11th edition. I'm waiting to see what happens before I spin up any new projects. So I'm trying to spin up the end of 10th edition projects, I guess, which is like Death Company with Eviscerators. Please, for the love of God, don't let them take the Eviscerators away from us, because I'm just getting on it. So, I'd like to get on the Eviscerators. I'd like to... Obviously, this is the new Lamartes model.
That's one.
I'm running Lamartes again. I feel like we'll probably end up running Lamartes in 11th edition, so this makes sense to paint him.
You can go, can't you? You're gonna go.
It was part of the challenge. I appreciate that.
I have awoken.
It looks... You have a tree for all.
I think probably what I need to do is get new stream alerts and see if there's a better one than saying I have awoken 50 million times.
Are you gonna play that one?
I have a
Stalin has decided to base all his minis. No more plain black bases for me. You know you're supposed to base them, man, right? Like, that's a thing that you're supposed to do.
I have awoken.
I mean, it's pretty easy with Games Workshop texture paints these days to base them, though, right? I think it adds quite a bit to like the final aesthetics of the minis once they're based.
I have awoken.
God, painting this guy's feet. Like, I always like to do like a red rim around their feet. Painting this guy's feet is impossible.
I have awoken.
Or if you want to
I just can't see in there to paint it, basically. There is not a better light, is that correct? Oh, well, I'll just make a mess around his feet and then tidy it up afterwards.
I have awoken.
You'll need that, won't you?
Can't even see it.
I have awoken.
Oh, I can sort of see it in there. Goblin green or nothing. Do you actually still own a pot of goblin green paint?
I have awoken.
But no, thanks dude so much for the gifted. I appreciate it ever so much. I'm gonna get an AI
I have
camera
awoken.
for our battle report room. That's like the next thing I'm getting for the channel. So I'm gonna get like a camera that hopefully on our battle reports like tracks people around the room. That's like
I have
powered with
awoken.
AI. I'm doing some research into it. So that's the next thing that we're gonna add.
Who's that?
I have awoken.
You've got to base 8,000 points of models. I feel sorry for you, man.
I have awoken.
I missed the fact that Andropia subscribed because the Dreadnought is still awakening 100 million times. Not that it's a bad thing, but thank you for
I have awoken.
thank you for becoming a subscriber. I appreciate it. You picked up a similar Goblin Green from Warpaint. Oh, I saw that there's a few companies now that are like doing those classic paints. I think that's super cool. I really like the old tactical squads. You know, like the second edition tactical squads, and some people like paint those with the Goblin Green bases. I think they have like a charm that will always be charming to me, I guess.
I have awoken.
And for your grass.
I have awoken.
Calgar says, I was a solid back base man myself for many years, but the new texture paints make it super easy. Yeah, I'm a big fan of texture paints. I use them in all my minis, and I just think that a texture paint and a wash will do the job in like no time at all. So I'm very pro texture paints.
I have awoken.
I love the Dreadnought, and I apologise. You don't need to apologise, dude.
I have awoken.
I must admit, these Primaris jump packs have really grown on me with the little fins. Remember when everybody got them with the little fins and we didn't like them? I've really had these grow on me. And I mean, I feel like you don't need any skill to paint these.
I have awoken.
What's it for?
The fins are
I
more
have
fragile on 3D printed models, I find. The Games Workshop ones are pretty durable. Like, if you drop a jump intercessor, it usually bounces and nothing breaks. If you drop a 3D printed one with fins, the fins probably break.
That's the one that wasn't in your house.
I finished redoing the two guys that I had 3D printed jump packs where the jump packs broke.
I have awoken.
So I replaced their 3D printed jump packs with real genuine Warhammer ones.
I have awoken.
You have a nice, I like your garden.
Anyone watching the stream on like the TV, their like partner's going to be like, who the hell has woken up? Who have you woken up? And they'll be like, it's fine.
What's that under there?
I have
You
awoken.
have a nice garden.
I have awoken.
I feel like I usually do a red knee on my Death Company. Usually the right knee is red, but
I
probably
have
gonna do his
awoken.
left knee for it. So he's gonna be different. He just wants to be different. I'm glad to see they've reconsidered those
I
stupid
have
little jet
awoken.
nozzles on their heels. Have they? Like, or they were only done for like, who had jet nozzles in their heels?
I have
Inceptors and jump intercessors. I guess I thought. Did the new Sangregar not have those?
I have awoken.
I must admit, I've only painted like one of the new Sangregars, so now I'm questioning if they had them or not.
I have awoken.
No, the new Sangregar don't have them. All right,
You could have a little picnic.
good to know.
I
Didn't realise. Suppressors had them too.
The picnic under there.
Calgar says it would be good to have a Redemptor that is a Librarian Dreadnought. Yeah, it would be really nice to get the Librarian Dreadnought back. You're right, Calgar. I think Blood Angels deserve a new model. Like our Codex actually didn't have that much in it, right? Comparatively. I mean, like, look at all the releases that Ultramarines just had, and look at the releases for the Space Wolves and the Black Templars. I feel like Dark Angels got a few things, but Dark Angels and Blood Angels are probably... Well, Dark Angels probably got to keep more things than us, right? Because they got to keep, like, some of their Ravenwing stuff.
If someone comes to visit, they can sit there.
Whereas we just lost Tycho, Captain Carlian, as you just mentioned. Corbolo, or Corbulo, excuse me, I always say his name wrong. I never really played Corbulo in my armies all that much. I always felt like he needed a jump pack. I'm thinking I'm going to make the top of his gun red as well. Dark Angels, yeah, they got Inner Circle Companions, which I guess you could argue are a bit like the Sangregar, and they got the Terminators refreshed. Did they get any... Did they... I mean, Azrael's obviously Primaris now. Did Ezekiel go Primaris, or is he still the firstborn model? We used to have the name Death Company Dreadnought. That's going back a few years. Moria was his name, I believe.
A wolf's toilet. A wolf's
Azrael, Asmodai, and Belial all got refreshed.
You could do it.
So they so Dark Angels got similar levels of refresh that we did, I guess.
I need to do a toilet. Is there a
Moria the
There's a
Chosen.
bear around your house.
What edition did he get?
Where the edge.
Did he get disappeared? Because I think he was in like the third. I think I've got a 3rd edition codex where he is in that one, right?
Like blue. Oh, it's a little seat.
Right, you're gonna put her to bed, love.
Yeah, it is time for you to go to bed. Cheers. And go into your bed, please. And go to sleep.
I like to have it.
Fine. You need
Well,
to
maybe-
work on house again another day.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show you more Warcraft tomorrow.
You have to go to sleep.
Right, please. Put your light off when you go up into your bed, please.
Mhm.
Because we're getting up early for that birthday party, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah, it's like 10 o'clock.
Mm.
No, it's 9:15, so it is past your bedtime, sweet.
Way past. Go to sleep.
So you need to go to sleep now, okay?
One.
Blood Angels has 5 unique characters, Dark Angels have 7. Yeah, and then we don't actually have that many unique, like, the number of units. I think the problem is, like, some of the units in our codex, like the Death Company are food. They're just like a like, they exist, but I don't even know why they exist. Because you don't exactly see people running out to buy Death Company on foot, do you? I really think you should be allowed to have a Sangre priest with them as well. Would that not make sense, right? Like, the Death Company, they're on the battlefield to die. You don't think there would be a Sangre priest there to collect gene seeds? Or do we not collect the gene seeds of the ones that have fallen to the Dark Rage? The Black Rage, excuse me. How does that work? I actually don't know the lore. Do we collect the gene seeds of the ones that have fallen to the Black Rage? Is that a thing we still need to do? Because if it is a thing that we need to do, then the Sangre priest surely needs to attach to some Death Company. Because where else are you going to find more gene seeds than a unit that's literally meant to die? I think Astrath collects them. I don't know. I know he kills them if they've got the Black Rage after the battle, or when they're too far gone. I don't know if he necessarily collects them himself. Our refresh was so badly fumbled. It says Chase, if you try and build a Death Company, you will find yourself light on Power Fists. Yeah, I mean, there was something weird going on with our refresh in that sense. I agree. I don't know what went wrong, but something went badly wrong. I guess they were maybe worried our refresh or our Death Company were too strong. It was a little bit bonkers before. When everybody could take a Power Fist and an Infernal Pistol, they probably were a little bit too strong, right? But then you're right. The new sprues they made were a bit all over the place. It's like they didn't know what they were doing. How are you getting on with building your house?
You've got one room. You get one room.
And how do you get more rooms?
You have to level up the house. Does it tell you how you level up the house? Does it?
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, I think the fact that there's been no Death Company for sale on the Games Workshop website for like a while now, Marius, right? It's probably somewhat telling. It's like they know that the Death Company release wasn't correct, or they're going to change it, or they're going to do something with it. I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah, I feel like the Death Company release, I don't want to say it was botched, but it was it's possibly one of the strangest releases we've had. Do you think GW knows how the community feels? Maybe they might do something for us in 11th. Wishful thinking. I'm sure they do know how the community feels. I'm sure they have people that follow, read the meta, read Reddit. Yeah, I'm sure they know. I suppose the question is, there's probably just so many moving parts. Are they able to react to it, and or is that their priority, right? Because I mean, they've said a few times one of their priorities is to get new players in, right? Like, that's one of their biggest priorities. Do you want any of the Crimson Paladins? If so, are they in coolest person as they look online? Well, I just happen to have a shield here from a Crimson Paladin. Are the shields cool? Yeah, the shields are very cool. Do I actually own the Terminators? No, I don't. But having owned some of the Forge World Blood Angels models, because I've got a few of them, I would say they are very cool. They're made from resin though, unless they've changed them. So they don't work with your standard plastic glue. The kits are a bit of a nightmare to work with. They're more like an advanced hobbyist style kit. Like, so you need to be somewhat advanced at doing the hobby. I mean, I feel like anyone that could do the plastic kit can do it. But you just need to have a bit more patience, and you just need to know that you're getting into something a little bit more in depth. But like, are the Blood Angel models you would pick up from Forge World good quality? Yeah, they're dope, man. They're really dope. I have 2 Contemptor Dreadnoughts, but one of them was an absolute nightmare to build. I have a Falchion tank. I have Ralderon. I think I've got another like Praetor Captain as well. So I've got like 5 or 6 of the Forge World Blood Angels things. They're very, very cool. You can use them for conversions. But like I said, they're not the easiest kits to make. So you just need to know that going in, I would guess. It would be funny if GW bought out Grey Tide. I don't think they'll buy third-party miniature companies. I think they'll just keep doing what they're doing. They don't need to. I mean, they've obviously got talented designers. They could just design it. What did Mike say? I expect GW didn't do anything Death Company, so there would be something more for us to release in the next edition. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, Mike. I feel like they could have easily done a good Death Company release this edition and then done the Dreadnought or Gabriel Seth. Right? I'm struggling now.
No, just check. I was turning on some other action. They have like 3 other ones. Do you know where they are? They're right in the middle of the screen.
Oh,
Hmm.
cannot move them.
Not that I could see. And who would want them? Like, it doesn't look like anything to do.
Cannot right click on them. So Alt. Google it. There's got to be a way to Google it.
You see that useless there. Could you not want me to do picture?
How did we ever survive without Google? Adepticon is on the 25th, right? That's when we're likely to get our first glimpse of 11th edition. I would, like I said, yeah, I don't, I feel like on my YouTube feed, I get so many videos about like I get so many rumor videos about 11th edition. I've just become numb to them. I haven't watched any of them in like a month. Because it feels like every single day it's like there's some new rumor about 11th edition. I'm like, I'd rather just wait, and then I'll make a video when I know the truth, rather than the constant rumor streams or rumor videos. I don't know, man. I've become numb to them. I suppose it's like, you know, when you watch like when you see an advert for something, and then you just become numb to that advert, right? I'm trying to think. There's got to be an advert. What's an advert we see all the time? Can you think, love?
Oh, sorry, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
An advert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Just Eat or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's Just Eat.
Yeah, I see like Just Eat adverts all the time, so you just become to a point where like you just don't even think about Just Eat because they advertise it too much, right?
Yeah, to be fair, Just Eat.
Raid Shadow Legends. Love Holidays. I don't know if that's an advert I've seen.
Booking.com.
Booking.com, booking.yeah. I'm pretty Campbell unsubscribe because that's the entire show. Yeah, I think you've got to be careful. I think if you make the same content enough times, then you can become numb to it. Yeah. Like I'll make a video once I've seen the box art. You know, like once I know what's going to be in the box or something, then I'll make a video. But yeah, I've become a bit numb to the constant rumor content, I guess. It's the same as like I unsubscribed to a bunch of other channels that were always being negative about 40k, because there's a fair few channels that are always negative about 40k, and I was like, oh man, I can't be bothered with this. Like, I play 40k. Yeah, it's not the perfect game. I mean, I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect game, right? Like, every game you play ever is going to have ups and downs, balance issues. But we don't need to berate the game because it's not balanced this week. I mean, it happens, right? I mean, I feel like that happens with it. I really feel like that happens with every game. I'm sure when Dawn of War 3 comes out, because I'm quite excited about Dawn of War 3. I like the first one. Or is it Dawn of War? Sorry, Dawn of War 4. I think I blanked 3 from my mind because 3 wasn't very good. Yeah, Dawn of War 4. When that comes out, I'm going to play it, and I'm sure there's going to be some balance issues. But I'm not going to berate it just because balance issues. I think it's different if like the developers stop patching it or something like that. But if they're still actively working on it. My wish for Blood Angels list would be Death Company standard bearers. You know, we used to have a standard, man. It was in the Codex, and it was a standard that I think you could give to any, like a special standard you could give to anybody in the Blood Angels. I think it was called the Standard of Sacrifice, and you quite often gave it to like one of the Sanguinary Guard with the banner, but you could give it to anyone, and it just gave you like a bubble of better leadership, I believe, and a 5-up Feel No Pain around the standard, and it was so good. Hello, Vintage Flanker. I used to actually love running aggressors with the Standard of Sacrifice, because I felt like aggressors with a 5-up Feel No Pain were just really, really good. Not many people did that, but I was really enjoying Blood Angels aggressors with a 5-up Feel No Pain. I thought it made them like so durable, and people didn't realise quite how durable they were until they started shooting at them. Toughness 6 or 7, I think. 7? Is it toughness 6? Maybe it's 6. You don't have a clue, love. I know you don't. I think I was just turning my head that way to try and like. Isn't there that thing when you like when you look up
into the distance and
when you look up to the left?
That's when you're lying.
That's when you're accessing the memory, and when you look up to the right, you're making shit up or something like that.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at you to tell me the toughness of aggressors. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God. You've been waiting a long time.
I just went 6-0 in a private tournament with Angels Inheritors. Congrats! Sorry. Angelic Inheritors. Oh, I just dropped my model. He's fine. He bounced. Congrats, dude. Well done. Did you win then? You went 6-0? You must have won. She said, I don't mind rumours, what I ignore is channels whose constant videos are negative about the hobby or 40k or 10th edition. Yeah, dude, I've unsubscribed to all of them. I was subscribed to a few of them. I am done with them. I'm going to keep my channel as a positive space. Someone's asking me about Tabletop Simulator. I've got it now, but I need to install it and do a tutorial. Unknown when I'm going to do that, but I do plan on doing it. I've got a lot of painting to do for Blood Angels right now. Like I'm just wanting to get as much of my Primaris stuff finished as humanly possible. So I've had a lot of it for a while. I guess I was in a bit of a painting slump, I guess, without even really meaning to be in a slump. It wasn't like I was bored of painting or anything like that. I hadn't been prioritizing painting or anything. You know, when you've got young children and stuff, sometimes you just prioritize different things for a while. And since Christmas, I've been really prioritizing trying to lose weight because I don't know. I feel like I've been trying to lose weight forever, and finally gave it some priority, I guess. Good afternoon, Boris. Well, congrats on winning. What prize do you get for winning a private tournament 6-0? It would be cool if you could send a list over as well, because we don't often do 1500 point lists on the channel, and I guess some people do play 1500 points, like just. So yeah, if you put the list in the comments, dude, that would be super cool. I'll feature you either in a video or in the Army List show, right? I know that you'll do commissions, Mike. Isn't there? There's something about doing your own models, though, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I haven't done commissions before. It's not like I want to do them again. I think it's... I don't know. I just feel motivated to paint right now. And I know I've made videos before about saying, like, paint anyway, even if you're not motivated. I suppose I do the same. Like, I go to the gym every week now. Even if, like... Even if, I don't want to say I'm not motivated for the gym, because I am, but yeah, I just need to make my I think probably what happened, honestly, is Battlefield 6 came out. And I spent an awful lot of hours playing Battlefield 6. I guess the Battlefield games were like a guilty pleasure of mine, right? I finally got to where I need to be in Battlefield 6, I think. I bought the Season 1 pass, or whatever it is. You know, like, you pay $8.99 and you can get a bunch of stuff. So I was playing the Season 1 Battlefield 6 patch. I actually played with a couple of people from the channel. Because I've put a few people that watch the channel on my friends list on Steam. So, yeah, I probably played too much Battlefield 6. And then, without even realising, it was like, I've been playing Battlefield 6, like, in all my spare time for 2 months. And then I was like, yeah, I need to stop playing Battlefield 6 and start getting my painting going again. But I think I'm kind of bored of Battlefield 6 now. I've put enough hours into it. It was fun. I'll play again when Battlefield 7 comes. Phil says, I missed out on a local RTTT. It was overbooked, so I've been in a bit of a slump today. I'm sorry to hear that, Phil. There'll always be another event, though. Did you manage to do anything with your day off then, or? But no, I get you. Sometimes we've had to cancel things because the kids have been ill or something like that, and it can get you down. You get I don't know what you get from me, a firm handshake or something, Phil. I hope you get out of it. I'm sorry to hear that. I was actually cleaning up my iCloud library a few weeks ago, Phil, and there was a photo of just the two of us looking very happy. At the tournament, I guess it would have been like 2 summers ago now. So be glad to know you didn't make the cut. You got to stay in the iCloud library. I was having to delete shit to fit my iCloud, but you got to stay. So.
You mean you didn't get?
Yeah, you didn't get cut. What did I say? You didn't make the cut. Oh Jesus! No! You made the cut. You made the cut. You got to stay in my iCloud library, Phil. I'm sure deleted one with Andrew. I see him like every week, it's fine. That's something I need to do more of. When I meet people that watch the channel, take photos, because people are always so nice to me. I don't know if I told you this, love.
No.
I was at a tournament one time. I think it was that tournament I was at in Varui, so that maybe been like 6 months ago, and someone came up to me, right, and he's like, John, blah 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 blah, and he's talking to me, and he honestly talked to me for 10 minutes, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry, I cannot remember your name, or I cannot remember where we've met. And he's like, oh, we've never met, I just watch your channel. And I was like, okay, hold on a minute, please tell me, you know, yeah, I was like, please tell me your name, so like, if this happens again, I can just at least be like, ah, right, this guy. But the whole time when he was talking to me, I was like, trying not to be rude, you know, because I was like, oh, do I know this man? Have I met? Yeah. It was a busy weekend. I bet it was a busy weekend flying all the way to Scotland for GT. Bunny Wolf says, give this man a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. Oh, Bundy Wow. Or maybe he's playing WoW as well. My wife's playing WoW. She just went back after like 18. Ted Bundy? Oh, okay. Well, maybe he's coming to kill you in WoW. Okay. Boris says, I'm going to try and get some painting done after dinner tonight. Maybe finish off some Sandguard. Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep jumping between all these death companies. Probably gonna give this sergeant a purple cape, I think. But yeah, I was thinking I might take a break from the battle report either this week or next, just to get more painting done. I think I did this at the end of last edition as well, where it's just like, just get more models done for the new edition coming. If I miss one battle report on the way, like if I'm not live on a Wednesday night with a battle report, I'll just literally be here painting stuff. Hopefully it'll be better this time around, because last edition we got a bunch of stuff painted right before the edition and shitloads of it went to Legends, so I'll probably not put too much paint on the Ball Predators before the new edition hits. Like, the Ball Predators are battle ready as they are, so I'll probably focus all my painting on other stuff, just because the Ball Predators are somewhat risky. Novak says I'm still waiting on an epic Death Company on foot video. God, dude, you really waiting for that? It's just this a Blade Guard veteran. He is the captain from the Indomitus box that had the Necron on his base, right? But he is essentially being converted to a captain with a Blood Angel Storm Shield, which is 3D printed, and a spear from the new Sanguinary Guard. Because so I'm calling this guy Spear Guard. It's a trap. What, to paint all your models before the new edition? Yeah, well, like I said, I made that mistake last edition, and a bunch of stuff went Legends. But I think I'm probably going to do it again. It's fine. I don't like. I've got a display case with a lot of models that I finished, that I guess just sit in the display case now, and worst case I'll buy another display case and sit more of my models. I mean, like, my painting's not the greatest, but I still take a bit of pride in the time and effort that I spend on them, right? So I don't, like, I've got models that I'm probably never going to play again because they have no rules anymore, but I would still like to finish them even if I'm never going to play them again. Holy shit, that shield is fire. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I think I've got a few more of them, actually. I'm trying to remember where I bought them from. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I've had them for years, but yeah, no, it's the Crimson Paladin shields. They're Terminator shields from Forge World, but I guess somebody must have been selling them somewhere. It might have been eBay. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay. I always think you can get bargains on eBay. So yeah, I always like for 40k models, Thunder Hammers, bits, bobs. I always check eBay, man. Antonio says, I'm not the biggest fan of the 3-year editions. Do you know what, dude? I feel like I wasn't the biggest fan either of the 3-year editions. I feel like 4 years would be better, right? I would like, personally, I think, a year at the end of the edition where everybody has their codex. So it's like it's a much more like, it's like a more balanced year. Would that make sense, right? Like everybody's got their rules, everything's super balanced, and we all get a year to play with our best rules or our best data slates or whatever you want to call that. Like, I think that would be better. But then I see the spike in viewership that I get when the new edition comes out, and like, we go back, my channel gets somewhere in the region of like 50 or 60,000 views a month. Maybe a good month it might push like 70, 75,000 views a month. See, the months with the new edition, it pushed like 120,000. So I literally get 50,000 more views. So my channel just does like 50% better for like 3 or 4 months. And then I get, obviously, Blood Angels Codex will do the same, right? Like, so as much as I think it would be better for the game if there was more time for people to have their rules finished, and I think it would be a more balanced game. I can see they obviously do it because, like, the new edition gets a lot of people who's maybe less, you know, like people. I don't want to say they've fallen out of the hobby, but definitely the new edition gets eyes on the game like nothing else, you know. So I can't really. I see you're compromised by the new views, just like GW wants the new players. Yeah, exactly. So. But I mean, it will literally double my views for like 3 months, and like, I don't think I'll ever get to 100,000 subscribers, but I'd like to get to 25,000. I mean, I'd like to maybe get to 30 or 40,000. So, I mean, that helps me big time. Damien Gordon says, the guys, I'm debating getting to Blood Angels because of the speed and the lore. How fun are they to play in the tabletop? I love the idea of a fast army. I think we're one of the best armies to play in the tabletop, Damien. I think there's lots of ways you can play Blood Angels. You could play shooting Blood Angels. There's been detachments this edition that can do that. You could play them all melee. You can do a mix of both. I mean, there's not many things, like, there's not many armies where every single infantry model has a jump pack. That's a thing that you can do as well. And also by being here, you can get me more views. So you definitely want to stay a lot of time to drop into the chat. But no, I mean, I don't know. I've got access to lots of different armies. I always fall back to Blood Angels. I've got 6,000 points of Eldar and never play them. I've got all the Ultramarines characters. I occasionally play Ultramarines. I've got 2 or 3 Black Templars characters. I never play them. I wonder how the Cabal shows will influence the new player count in the future. I mean, if there's more eyes on the hobby, then. But the thing is, I doubt the Cabal show will be about Blood Angels. It'll probably be about Ultramarines, right? Yeah, more Ultras. Ultramarines. He's a big fan of Custodes. I know he is, but I do think that Space Marines are going to be... I do think it's going to be Space Marines. I think they're just the most logical choice. And every starter edition is Space Marines, right? So I really think I'd be really surprised if it's not Space Marines. Not that there's nothing wrong with Space Marines. I mean, they tried it before when they made that Warhammer movie, right? It was all Space Marines. Marius says, based on... I missed that. Space Marines did wonders for the immediate short term of Warhammer 40,000. Yeah, I mean, I think Space Marine 2 has been possibly... Correct me if I'm wrong, Marius, but like, Space Marine 2 has probably been the most popular Warhammer video game ever, right? Like, I read some number, I could be wrong, I'm sure I read that it had like 5 million of sales in the first year. That's like, you know, video games are so competitive now, there's not that many games that get like 5 million sales, right? I mean, it was on a bunch of platforms, but still, I feel like the numbers of sales were really, really positive for Space Marine 2. I only finished it like last month, Antonius. I think yeah, or maybe it was December I finished it, but I feel like it took me ages. I only just finished it, so don't feel too bad. So it's a decent sized game, and you know, like I was talking how I've played a lot of Battlefield 6. I actually haven't played the campaign at all in Battlefield 6. Like, I've never even, like, I've got 100 hours in Battlefield 6. I've never even played the campaign. I just played multiplayer. So, the fact that I've actually finished the Space Marine 2 campaign should tell you something for the quality of the campaign, because, like, I never even loaded the campaign in Battlefield 6. I mean, I probably should, considering, yeah, I probably should, I just haven't. Battlefield 6 campaign is woefully short, but I never even loaded it up. I just went straight into multiplayer day one and haven't left. Battlefield for me always was a multiplayer game though, right? Like when I used to play Battlefield, it didn't have a campaign. So I kind of even forgot maybe that it existed, that there was a campaign. I just went straight into multiplayer. What did Damien say? Thank you, I've been watching constantly and understand the army. Is the Lancer a worthwhile investment into 11th edition? Yeah, so the Lancer is a good investment for two reasons, I think. One is Lancers are pretty good on their own, but two, if you don't glue the top of the Lancer on, you can also have it as a impulsor tank. So it's basically two tanks for the price of one, or a tank and a transport for the price of one, right? And an impulsor costs 50-60 bucks as well now. I mean, at least like, maybe not 50, like 42.50 or something. So if you buy a Lancer, it gives you the option to field it as a transport, or the option to field it as fire support. And I always think options are good. And in a Blood Angels list, you could do either. You could field it as a fire support, or you could field it as a transport. Both options are pretty solid. I don't know if it would be Horus Heresy for the TV show. I feel like that would be a bit dark. They'll want it to be more... I want to say, I don't want to say mass market, but I think they'll want it to be more marketable than the Horus Heresy. Like, the Horus Heresy is very dark, right? Just says Gladiator is the best kit. You get 3 tanks and a transport for 80 bucks. Yeah, it's good. It's one of the better value kits, I would guess. You just have to be careful when you're making it to make it where you don't stick it all together and you can't ever change the parts out. You can use a bit of magnets on it, and it's worth doing. JLQ says, I'm glad to finally have my Blood Angels army up and running, especially since they were stolen from me back in 2024, and I've been rebuilding them ever since. Oh dude, I'm sorry. I know that sometimes people get miniatures sold, and I've heard about that before. That completely sucks, especially with how much time you can end up putting into them. I'm glad you got back into it. I'm glad you didn't let that burn you out, because I can imagine that would have been difficult. I feel like if I'd lost my whole army and someone had stolen it, I'd probably be crying for a week or something. I'd be pissed, man. You should have totally made the gladiator magnetizing video. Yeah, you should have. You should have, Mike. Here's the thing, there's a lot of videos I should have made, but you know, it's time and it's effort, and I suppose the thing with YouTube is sometimes you don't get any views. You can make great videos and you can get no views, so it's hard to know when the right videos to make is. Can you turn the music down a bit? Yeah, of course can. I wish someone had said earlier. How about that? For the record, my Windows Media Player playing the music is on volume... It was on volume 6 out of 100, so it is turned down like a lot. Now I've put it to 4 of 100. Is that better? I suppose maybe different songs or different volumes. I'm hearing what sounds like one child is awake. Well, can you check? Hello, Fonz. Good evening. Are you well? Did she have her light on?
No.
She was farting around in the room.
Maybe that's hot shit.
You pushed that door. Oh, you did.
It's okay.
Right. There was a horrible draft when you left the room.
Lovely. It's quite hot.
Well, you could open it a little bit.
It's fine. It's cold. If I wasn't saying
Not exactly. When you put 2 computers on and then you have all these lights on for my painting, it gets quite nice in here, even in winter in Scotland.
I'm awake.
That's one thing that I do like side effect of streaming that's really good is the computer heats up the room. So like when I'm finished my stream, sometimes I leave the room and like the whole house is stone cold. And I'm like, oh my goodness, my room was just so lovely. It's a pity I couldn't just wheel my bed in here and go to sleep. Yeah. Because I guess the graphics card heats. The graphics card is a heater. Have they? So what's your first impressions of building a house?
I like the building a house. Do I enjoy this neighbourly daily cut? I'm supposed to go and pull up some cabbages, not really.
Oh my god, it's the pulling the cabbages out the ground quest again.
Yeah, you know where you pull it and then this random vine attaches to you.
Yeah.
You have to run away with it.
Oh my goodness, that's like a Pandaria quest, isn't it?
Yeah. Waiting for the weird giant rat.
I certainly miss how the New Death Company don't have any of the cool heraldry or the bits and bobs that these old ones have, then I'm probably going to be happy when I paint the new ones that you don't have to mess around with quite as much painting. Can't decide. What texture paint do you use? Armageddon. Armageddon Dust. I think there's another Armageddon one that might be actually better. The one that like does the cracked bases might be better, but I started with Armageddon Dust, so all my models are on Armageddon Dust. And then after I've done the coat of Armageddon Dust, I do 2 more coats. I do Agrax Earthshade wash. So these guys have had a coat of Armageddon Dust and a coat of Agrax Earthshade, and then typically afterwards, like when the model's finished, give or take, I do a dry brush of Tyrant Skull, which is like a white, an off-white I would call it. And what the dry brush does is it just gives it a little bit more depth.
And would you only ever change from that if you?
Yeah, I've got like.
Because otherwise you'd have to redo.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why people in my chat ask me why I don't use new techniques and why I don't use contrast paint, and it's just like because it all matches, man. And I've been doing it this way for 10 years, and yes, it's not the most efficient way. Maybe it's not the best way to do the stuff, but it's the way I've always done it, and it means that everything matches. And I'm not good with change, love. You know that. See, like if we want to change where a piece of furniture is in our house, my wife literally has to do that when I'm out, because if she tries to change it when I'm in, I'm like, by removing it, like, you know, it's like that. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, you're so annoying.
Yeah, I'm annoying. Okay.
No, but like.
No, I'm admitting it. You don't. I feel like I feel like I'm better at change than I was.
Then if you turn around to me after and said you didn't like it, put it back.
Yeah. But no, when we first got together, I couldn't handle any sort of change. Like you wanted to move like, I don't know, you wanted to move a wardrobe into a room or something. I was like, go, no. You know, like I just can't. I don't know. It worked better when I would go to work all day and I would come home and you would be like, right, I've just moved the bed. And like I would be upset for a few minutes because I liked where the bed was or whatnot, and then like afterwards I was like, actually, yeah, that's fine. But there, like I'm not good with change. I need to try some Black Legion paint. I don't think I bought the Black Legion paint yet, Marius. I think I intended to, but I don't.
Did you?
Time, patience, and technique have improved over time. Yeah, I mean, I guess my brush control has improved a lot over time, but the general colours of the paints I use in that are very much similar to when I first started, right? I think this one's dead. Look at it. This is why I get flamed about my paint. Look at, oh my goodness, that's solid. Look, that's just turned in, like that's not even paint anymore. It's become an organism.
No, it's not got mold on it.
Yeah, I mean there is no mold on it, but like
I don't know how mold it is.
What even is, like,
It's just dried.
it's just soup.
Congealed.
Yeah.
Congealed.
Ugh. What a waste. I like dropper bottles, but I'm too. I want to say I don't. There's not enough time in my life to move all the Games Workshop paint from these pots into dropper bottles. because the dropper bottles, I've got some paints in dropper bottles.
Why don't they just sell it in the
Very good question. The reason they don't just sell it in dropper bottles is dun
They
dun
want you to
dun.
buy the dropper bottle.
Probably because they want you to waste
And
half the tub of
waste
paint
your
like I have.
time
I don't know.
putting it in the-
It's one of those conspiracy theories. People think that they sell them in these pots purposely to make people waste paint.
I'm sure they in fact do.
I'm sure they don't. I'm sure that's just the pots that they have, and
So evil.
they got they got a deal on them, and the company that makes these pots made 100 million of them, and now they've got a warehouse just full of these pots, and we're like,
Stacked to the roof
yeah,
with
and
empty
they're like in a board meeting where everyone's like, everybody's telling us that they hate these pots, and they're like, well, that's fine, but we've got a warehouse with 50 million of those pots in them.
So one day when Michael is in his 40s, they'll switch over.
Yeah, at one point they'll switch over. Do you know what? They'll probably. I'm half tongue in cheek right now, but you know that thing when they're like, a big announcement is coming,
You're
and
is it the dropper bottle?
and everybody will like tune in for like, you know, like when Apple are like, we've redesigned the iPhone from
And
the
they're
ground
like,
up,
Now
and it's
we've
like,
made the bubbles on your screen look
um,
kind of 3D.
you know, like if there's almost like meme videos with what's his face, Tim Cook, you know, like every single year it's like the best iPhone, the most revolutionary iPhone, and it's like from last year what they did was they like changed a button position or something, you know, so they'll make a video like something big is coming,
And it's
and it'll be like, we finally shipped all 50 million of those crappy pots. Now you can have your paint in dropper bottles. And everyone will be like, yeah, dropper bottles, that's what we've been asking for. Thanks for listening. There was an interview with an ex-GW employee who did say they had no incentive to change the pots because wasting paint was kind of a benefit for them. It was on the painting phase.
proof.
Oh, I stopped watching the painting phase, man, after
Proof.
Peachy left it, I must admit.
Obviously, they want you to buy more paint. They don't
Well,
want
yeah.
you to buy- and They want the paint to go all dried up and shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess there is no incentive for them to make it better, for you to not run out, for your paints to last longer, right? Man, my general take is I hate capitalism, but I think that that's where the world's already there with capitalism, right? But I generally hate it. Don't you have phones? Oh yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it? The Diablo Immortal release. I played that for like 5 minutes and then realised... I feel like I played it for like 5 minutes, honestly.
I don't remember.
Diablo Immortal, it was just like a really cut down version of Diablo on your phone. It wasn't horrible, but
What
like...
was the point of it?
What was the point of it? Because they can sell it to people that play Diablo on their...
Why would you want to play it on your phone? You know, like if you've got a perfectly good PC or PlayStation.
Well, no, the only reason to play it on your phone is because phone games are like pay to win and they can make a lot more money out of phone games, right?
It's just ridiculous.
But like I said, capitalism.
Waiting for poop quits.
Diablo Immortal made so much money. Yeah, because I think I played it for like a hot minute, and a regular Diablo game costs $60 or $70, right? And I think no, I didn't buy anything in Immortal, but I swear to you, could have spent thousands in Immortal very easily. Like it was crazy how much stuff cost. Yeah, I mean the PC market's not getting much better, right? Like I've said a few times on the stream, I've been playing Battlefield, right? Battlefield 6 has like a host of problems in that like the game came out like 3 months ago. There's no new content in that game. But what there is loads of like skins and vanity and well, just skins and vanity, I guess. Gun skins, vanity skins, vehicle skins, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy any of that shit. Like, I just want some new maps to play on. But that's not the developer's priority anymore, making new maps. The priority is like filling up the DLC shop with skins, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying skins. I quite like just buying the game one time and then being done with it. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's enough people that buy skins. Isn't that how Fortnite is? Like, it's just all skins. I've never played Fortnite. But I think that's how they monetize, it's just skins. A lot of people want to buy skins.
Are the skins like culture?
Yeah, the skins will be like pop culture, but the skins are also, they're not cheap. Like, some of the skins are like £30-40 for a skin. And here's the thing, in Battlefield, the skin's like a gun skin. So it's like, does anyone even have, like, when I'm killing people in Battlefield, I'm usually sniping them, because I play as a sniper, from like 100 yards away, so I can't even see what their gun skin is anyway, so why would you pay for it? I don't get it.
So they can save it.
It's just so they can show off, like, yeah, crazy. But they do it in everything. I mean, even, video games that just charge you once for like £30 or £40, and then you can just play the whole thing forever. It's like a novelty now. It's like, cool. DLC and microtransactions where the money is at. Yeah, I mean, unless you're selling 1 billion copies of a game, yeah. It's a different market, I guess. I do wonder if we're all just old in here. We're all bitter. We're all bitter and old. Back in my day.
And I definitely.
I haven't actually ever played a Fallout game, Andonius, but I think I'm just at the point now in my life where, like, I think I've actually been at the point for a while. Like, I think maybe it's like when you have kids, you just spend your money on your kids. You're not going to buy skins in a video game anymore. You know? Yeah, you have other things you've got to worry about. Yeah.
Unless you leave.
I know as well in World of Warcraft they were selling that mount that let you use the auction house or something. Remember the dinosaur? It was like £90.
I wasn't going to spend £90 on it. But
I was like,
with a dinosaur, absolutely.
You can just fly to the auction house in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't care about the auction house. I just wanted the dinosaur.
Like, could you not just set your recall stone or whatever, the Hearthstone, to the auction house and just auction house?
Some normal dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like just doing this stuff. Is that any value? No, but it's more reasonable price.
I have that dinosaur mount. I spent gold to buy it, in fairness. Alright, you're off the hook.
How much gold was it?
How much?
1 million. 1 billion.
My wife wants to know how much gold you spent on it. Imagine buying toy soldiers that cost money. But I mean, here's the thing, we can't...
Yeah, that's how you get them.
I was going to say, we can't... You don't need to buy skins for them though, right? How much? 1.5 million you spent. How much gold have you got in there?
1.5 million?
Yeah.
Also, send me some gold.
Well, my wife would wonder if you could send her some gold.
I will do nothing for it. Well, I've only got 120.
Yeah.
By the time I'm 60, I'll be done. World of Warcraft element of this. Or it will be. It'll be like back to the first ever expansion.
Yeah, I'll
ultra
do
hard mode.
the full circle by then.
Okay, I'll do that. Give me a second.
Open that door a tiny bit. It's getting warm in here now. You warm? You must be. You're wearing a jumper. Okay. But yeah, we should. I think Blood Angel should get something in the new year. I mean, it is the new year, so I think we should get something this edition, right? There's got to be something. I mean, we'll get the generic Space Marine releases in the summer. And when I was following the generic Space Marine releases, because I was following the rumor videos for a little while, it said it was going to be like Vanguard Veterans, a Jump Chaplain, maybe a Land Speeder type thing, and then like an alternate kit for Outriders where they can actually have some better weapons. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, right? More of a like assault type starter set. I haven't followed any of the rumors about what the orcs are getting, because it's supposed to be Space Marines versus orcs. No new tanks. I haven't heard anything about tanks. Has there been a rumor about tanks? A Gravis heavy bolter guy is a new rumor. Do we need more Gravis guys with bolters? Don't we already have that? I'd like a Gravis jump unit for melee. That would be better. Like aggressors with jump packs, but with something better. A refresh of the Rhino. I've heard about the new Land Speeder. We don't need them, but we'll probably get them. The refresh of a Rhino would be a bit weird, considering we got the Impulsor, and they're kind of the same thing. They need to reconfigure the whole Space Marine thing. We've got too many data sheets. That's why I've been trying not to buy too much, Antonius, because like they need to. Like I really feel like there's going to be Legends models again, or there's really going to be models that go to Legends again, and I really wish that they would be more transparent with that stuff, because it's really annoying when like. Well, it's really annoying when some of your collection basically you just get told you can't play it anymore. It's also really annoying if you've just bought or added models to your collection, and then they're like... I remember watching a video, or sorry, no, I wasn't watching a video, I saw a Reddit post, like, right after the Blood Angels Codex came out, right? And some dude, I don't know his name, whatever, but I mean, I swear to God, this was the Reddit post, in that, like, I read the post, and it was like, the guy had been to the actual physical Games Workshop store. So, like, his local Games Workshop. He'd been there, like, during the week, and he bought two... Remember our old Dreadnought kit that made, like, the Furioso, the Death Company, and the Librarian? He bought two of those kits. And then like a week later, the codex had come out, and he bought the codex, and he was like asking, he was like, I just bought these 2 models like last week. I can't find them in the codex. Where do I find the rules? I was like, and you know, like everyone in the Reddit thread was telling him like, oh dude, you got shafted, right? Like those models don't exist anymore. They don't have rules anymore. And he's like, but I just bought them last week.
Did they not know? Would they not have known?
I don't know if they would. I don't know if the store would have known or not. But regardless, I just think that's a really, like, you're trying to bring new customers in. Like, unless the guy in Reddit was lying, which I guess he could have been. I mean, I don't know.
People do stuff like that.
Phil says they knew. Yeah, so either one of two things. Either this, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know.
They knew that they shouldn't have sold them to
Some people say that the store managers don't know ahead of time, but I mean, I think it's just more of a shitty. Like, considering how expensive it can be, you know, like it's 50, like some of the tanks and stuff, they're 50, 60 quid. Imagine if, like, we were naive. I mean, we are probably naive, but regardless, you know, like, imagine like our kids were like, hey, can we get this new tank? Like, yeah, sure, you can have it for your birthday. You know, and their birthday comes and you buy them the new tank. And then like a week later, the new book comes out and it's like, oh, by the way, that tank you just bought like last week, you can't use it anymore. It's they do this thing called Legends, which basically just means they're retired. Veil Force says, I'm painting a glorious Land Raider red at the moment. Yeah. Hello, Veil Force. Land Raiders are definitely not going to be retired. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's not a unit that's going to be retired, guys. Correct? Incorrect? Nobody knows?
Who's working against it?
I think the answer is nobody knows. Yeah, it happened quite a lot last edition, and I feel like it's going to happen again this edition. What paint color? Here's a question, because I haven't really painted too many spears. What color are people using for the handles of the spears? Purple? Like Gene Stealer purple or a different purple? Metallic? Black? Anything else? Lead Belcher? Screamer Pink? Well, Screamer Pink sounds like it would be quite in your face, huh? I think Flyers go in 11th, says Andrew. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good chance that, like, I don't think you mean Flyers, you mean aircraft, right?
Yeah.
Good night, Michael. I don't think, I think they tried to balance aircraft peanuts and it got out of hand. There was a tournament in 9th edition. I can't remember, I think it might have been the London GT. And the GT was just ruined by AdMech aircraft and Black... no, I don't think it was Black Templars. I think it was Iron Hands. I think the final of the GT was AdMech aircraft and Iron Hands aircraft. and basically the game was over in turn 1. Like, absolutely, whoever went first was basically going to win. And it was on stream. Like this, you know, they're streaming the final of the tournament, and honestly, the final of the tournament, like half an hour in, it was just over. It was like the AdMac player went first. He flew over to the I want to say it was Iron Hands. He flew over to the Iron Hands player's deployment zone. He blew up everything. Like, I think he killed like 2 flyers and 2 dreadnoughts or something with a turn 1 alpha strike, and the game was basically over, and the Iron Hands player conceded in turn 1. Or maybe it went to turn 2, but I really think it was a turn 1 concession. And it was just like, if you're tuning in to see the final of a big tournament, and it's just like, this game is over. Like, you conceded in turn 1? Yeah, that's what happened. You conceded in turn 1 because the Flyers, the Flyers, they just have so much maneuverability. They just basically were on top of them turn 1. They mortal wounded a bunch of stuff. They shot a bunch of stuff off the table. It was like, I think they shot like 1,000 points worth of stuff off the table in this turn 1, and it was just over. And I think if it had been the other way, I think if the Iron Hands player had gone first, he would have won the game. So it was basically who wins the game is who wins the roll off, and it was a bit of a disaster of a stream. And it was like right after that, all the Flyers got nerfed like so heavily, and then Flyers have just never been the same again, which is a good thing, because if you played against them, it was fucking stupid, man. Because they were just everywhere. They're just tearing you up. They're so hard because they just maneuver everywhere. I think I was probably quite glad to see the end of them. The board size is too small for aircraft now. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right as well. Like, the small board size just probably actuated the point, emphasized the point, I guess. But yeah, it was a really big tournament, and you know, they hyped up the stream or whatnot. Like, it was going to be streamed on the official Warhammer page, or they're going to be streamed on some big channel, and it was like, it was a 20-minute stream. It was embarrassing. I mean, stuff occasionally slips through, but I think aircraft are just an exception, where like the game just doesn't really work all that well with aircraft models. Like, they've got other games that focus on aircraft, let them do that. I'd be surprised if I mean, I think that's why all the aircraft are like OC0 now, right? I mean, that helps. But yeah, I don't think aircraft. I think if we're looking for units that could potentially go Legends, aircraft are definitely on the list. I don't think aircrafts will make a comeback. I think they're going to be phased out, man. I just don't think they fit within the current. I just don't think they fit very well. And they're obviously super hard to balance if they're making people concede in turn 1, right? I remember it was AdMech Flyers, one of the most depressing games of 40k. Yeah, I mean, it was AdMech Flyers that I think it was the London GT. I think it was the end of last edition. So like. This edition came out 3 years ago, so it was probably like the London GT final in 2022 or 2021. The game, it was live streamed, so you could, if you hunt for it, you can probably find a live stream. But it was just a disaster. Everybody's hyped up to watch a game between some of the best 40k players, and like one player doesn't even get to go, basically, because it's just like he just got killed so hard in turn 1. Same argument can be made for super heavies. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why they basically legended all the super heavies, right? Like, the only super heavies that still have rules, at least for Space Marines, are you know, the one that we've got is pretty bad. It's not competitive whatsoever, I would say. I'm hoping that they improve the terrain rules. Well, I mean, they have been. They have the terrain. I feel like the terrain has evolved for better or worse. I think it's for better. Like, the terrain has been getting better. I think the general game has been getting better over the last few years, right? Like, I would say 10th edition is probably a better game than 9th edition, or at least probably a more balanced game than 9th edition. So, like, in general, things have been getting better. Terrain, secondaries, these sort of things, they have been improving. I'm sure they'll improve again. You know, I miss when they were doing those Meta Watch videos. Do you remember those, though? That they did them for like a couple of years, where every 3 months, 6 months, they would get on with like Nick. I forget the other guy's name. He was like the lead of 40k or whatever his name was. Oh, I can't put his name down right now. But I was liking those Meta Watch videos, I really was, and then they stopped doing them. I was a little bit sad about that. I want to include things like forests. Ah, yeah, I kind of miss that we used to have forests. They were kind of interesting, right? They were good for melee armies, forests, I feel like. If you've got a big aim, like you want to paint like 100 models, or you want to paint like an entire company, maybe you know this, but there's this there was this study that showed if you write your goals down, you're like 40% more likely to achieve your goals just purely from the fact that you wrote them down. So anytime I've got a goal now in life, you know, like I want to lose weight, for example, I write it down, because the act of writing it down apparently like solidifies more in your memory and in your you know, like you write it down anywhere, a post-it note on your desk, and it actually, like, studies have shown that you'd be like 40% more likely to achieve your goal just purely from writing it down. So I do that now if I've got goals. I write down channel numbers, subscriber numbers, all sorts of stuff. Savings goals, anything. You already got it mostly done? Well, then you don't need help to get motivation. Good for you, man. I need all the help I can get. I write goals down now. Can it be typed on a computer? I don't know. You'd have to Google it. I just remember reading that if you write your goals down, you're more likely to achieve them. Do you know what's really funny is I wrote all my goals down on a post-it note and left it on my desk, and my wife was in here tidying, and she just like threw it out. I was like, "Did you throw away my post-it note?" She was like, "Yes." I was like, "Okay, I gotta write my goals down again." Spring Roll says, "What are your thoughts on Strength 12 melee attacks coming from 3 Assault Centurions coming out of Land Raider and Liberator Assault Group with sustained hits 2 and access to lethals and lance and grenades?" I mean, I really like Centurions. I think to get the most out of Centurions, they really need Oath of Moment, because you don't have a lot of attacks, so you need to make sure you're getting some 6s for the sustained 2. But Centurions are Assault Centurions, really, really good, and if they can get into melee. And I think you have to caveat, it's a significantly sized if, because they move 4 inches. And there's no real way around that. Like, you put them in a Land Raider, you get them forward, sure, they get 1 charge, but then after that, they're dondering around at 4 inches a time. So, Centurions, they totally work. They do a good amount of damage. I've used them in my Liberator Assault group. I don't know if I ever ended up taking them to a tournament, but I used them a bunch of times, and I like them. But I also found in some games they're hard to get where you need them to go, and that they move 4 inches. But if you can work around the 4-inch move, you can get them where you need them to be. They're good. They're a good, solid unit. I mean, they're one of the best units we've got for dealing with monsters and vehicles because, like you said, they're strength 12, and I think in Liberator Assault group they're flat 3 damage. We don't really have much ways of getting flat 3 damage, right? And they're twin linked. Hello from Miami. How's Miami today? I saw a video saying that it was like unusually cold in Florida this week. Like the temperature got down to like 38 or something, which I don't know if that's normal for Florida at this time of year, but I feel like it seemed like really, really low. Like, I actually saw a video from Disneyland where like everybody's wearing jackets, and I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone in Florida wear a jacket like ever. My family used to own a house in Florida many years ago, so but I don't think I ever went in February. Like, I've never been to Florida in February, but 38 seems like a very low temperature for Florida. Like, I don't know if I've ever been in Florida when it's been below like 70. Have you ever tried to build the perfect custom detachment? I mean, I think I built some detachments in previous editions when you could do that more easily. You know, in previous editions you used to be able to choose your traits and your detachment rules. So I think I tried that in previous editions, but not recently, not since they made it much more like everybody's the same detachment. So it's been cold in Florida, but not as bad as the rest of the country. Fair enough. It's been really cold this last week in Scotland. Every day I walked to work in the morning, it was like -7 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Let me check. -7 Celsius in Fahrenheit. That's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And like, that has felt very cold. Like, I've got gloves on, and sometimes I have my hands in my pockets as well, and I still feel like I can't really feel my fingers. By then, like, I have to walk for like 35 minutes to get to work, and I honestly feel if it was much further, I feel like I would. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't just fall down and die, but I definitely feel like, holy shit, it's cold, man. I really need to get inside and warm up. I know you like NFL. Have you played Blood Bowl? I have not played Blood Bowl for a long time, but Blood Bowl was actually what got me started in this hobby all those years ago, man. I had 2nd edition of Blood Bowl. I actually sold it recently because I've been trying to sell some games that I just haven't played in like 10, 15 years. I've got a few more to sell. I've got 2 kids now, and like on a weekend I spend a lot of my time with the kids. So like, obviously I've got more 40k than I can possibly paint. Like, I think I could take a week off work and just paint every day, and I'd still have painting to do. I could probably take a month off work to catch up where I am on 40k. So I just started selling some old games. And yeah, I do like NFL. I support a really, really terrible NFL team. We did terrible again this season, but I'm loyal, so I'll support them again next season. But Super Bowl tomorrow night. With wind chill, it's -27 here. Jesus, Colin, it's cold. I used to bet every year in the Super Bowl. I don't know if you can still get the odds. But I used to put £10 on the Super Bowl every year, and I bet on the same thing every year. So I didn't bet on a specific team, I bet on a specific event, which was I split the Giants. I know we went like 3-10 or something this season. We maybe got 4 wins. It was tragic though. But at least maybe we found a quarterback that might work in the future, because I feel like we haven't had a quarterback since Manning, honestly. So maybe there's a little bit of bright light. We'll see, I guess. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, my Super Bowl bet every year, and I think it's a good bet. Not every bookie does it, and they probably lowered the odds, but you used to be able to get, I did this like 4 or 5 years in a row, I used to always bet on a kickoff return from the opening kickoff in the Super Bowl. And the reason that I bet on that was because the Super Bowl kicks off at like 11 PM or midnight here in the UK, and I usually have work at 9 AM, so I don't like to stay up. So usually the first half finishes about midnight. By the time they do half-time show, the second half's probably kicking in at like 1 AM. And you know, the second half always seems to last longer than the first half. I don't know why. Timeouts, more pressure. I genuinely don't understand that, because I would have thought, yeah, like I obviously being in the UK, we don't know as much about American football or NFL as you guys in America. But yeah, the second half generally always seems to last a bit longer. So the second half was always kicking off at 1 AM, and I have to be at work at 9, which means getting up at like 7:30. So generally didn't want to be watching football still at 3 in the morning. So Tessa says, I'm in the garage, base spraying and cursors. Are they still worth it in the current edition? I mean, people still playing cursors, yeah. +1 to hit. It's not bad. I don't know if they play them too much in the Rage Curse detachment, but they definitely play them in other detachments. I fielded some pretty recently. In which detachment did I field them in? No, I think I fielded them on Rage Curse just because I wanted to see how they do with their scout move. Maybe not the most competitive thing, but I think people do use them. Yeah, so I used to always bet on an opening kickoff return, and they used to give you 50 to 1 on that. In the second half, there's much more clock controlling. Yeah, I figured it would be that. So the second half always seems to last longer. So basically, I would always want to be going to bed probably at the end of the first half. So I wanted to have a bet that I would know was done and dusted in the first half. And then what I realised was if you bet on a kickoff return, then all the excitement for the whole game goes into that very first play, right? They kick it off, the guy catches it, and then you know within the next sort of like 5 to 10 seconds if you're going to get your... And they used to do 50 to 1 on that. I don't know if you can actually still bet on kickoff return in the Super Bowl. But they used to do 50 to 1. And it used to happen quite often. I think in like 2010 to 2000... maybe it was before that. Maybe like 2005, 2006, 2007. I think there was 2 kickoff returns in like 3 years. Oh, here we go. Super Bowl 59. Oh no, I just want to know what the... Like, has anyone just got the kickoff return? Super Bowl kickoff, William. I think I used to use, was it Bet360 or Betfred? Maybe there. Oh, I don't want to join any, I just want to see the odds. Can anyone find it? Can anyone tell me what the odds are on kickoff return? I'm curious. I'm not going to bet. I know they've changed the kickoff rule, but what's changed with it? Like, you still just get to catch it and run, right? Because it was always very exciting when they broke a couple of tackles. You know, if you've got the kickoff return at 500 to 1 and they or 50 to 1, you've got $10 on it, so you're going to win 500. I actually think I saw one year. I think I saw a bet slip on Reddit. I think someone put like 10 grand on the kickoff return at 50 to 1 and won like $500,000 or something. Like, it's crazy. I want to say it was about, I think, do you know what, I can probably ask ChatGPT, because let's face it, the AI knows everything, right? We'll just ask the AI. Saves fucking around in Wikipedia. In the last 25 years, how many times has there been an opening kickoff return in the Super Bowl? Man, I honestly think the AI has made me so lazy. What do you mean, stop searching? Keep searching. Only one time has the opening kickoff been returned for... There you go. That was the one you just mentioned in 2007. He remains the first and only player in Super Bowl history to return the opening kickoff for a score. Well, I guess that'll be why they give you 50 to 1 on it. Because it hasn't happened. It happened 19 years ago. But hey, if you were looking for a bet that was finished by halftime, it's finished by, it's a good bet that was like finished by 10 seconds into the game, right? It made the first play pretty exciting. Ask Gemini what's ChatGPT. I don't know what Gemini is. That's like...
Is it not Google?
I thought ChatGPT was Google. Maybe I'm wrong. Who's going to win tomorrow night anyway? Oh, Gemini is Google. You're right, love. Gemini is Google's. ChatGPT is another company called OpenAI.
Oh.
The Patriots, the evil empire is back. They've got a different quarterback though now, right? I actually watched quite a lot of the off-season games. Not the whole games, but the highlights are all now on YouTube, which is just so much better. Like, they're all condensed into like 30-minute highlights on YouTube, which I like. So when I'm using my cross trainer for exercise, I just watch. I think I watched a couple of games with Los Angeles. Is it the Chargers? I watched a game with the 49ers. I feel like I watched the Green Bay play as well. I think I watched it's the Seahawks, yeah. The Seahawks should obliterate the Patriots. The Seahawks, I saw them in a game where they were behind the whole game, and I think they were behind the whole game. They looked really good, actually. And I did watch all that. I did watch the highlights for all like 16 of the Giants regular season games, and it was pretty painful viewing, I must say. There's so many games where the Giants just give up so many yards on defense, just like crazy. Like, it's like they cannot defend for anything. They put odds on Luis Suarez biting someone in a game of football, and he actually bit. So he bit a player this one time, right?
But now it's like a bet.
And then somebody actually bet on him to bite another player, and he did bet it, and he won it because he did actually bite someone else.
Again. Did he do that as a little boy then, and he just like never grew out of biting people?
Jeez. Is anyone watching the Six Nations today? I was disappointed in Scotland's performance. You know, I didn't watch the rugby today, but I was at one of the games. I was at Scotland against Argentina just in November, and Scotland were really disappointing in that game as well. So I think they were 21-0 up or something, and they lost.
I feel like every time there's any kind of important game for Scotland in football or rugby,
they bottle it.
We generally get up.
Yeah, we definitely good at bottling things.
Crack under pressure.
Yeah. Fun times. It's fun to be a Scotland fan. But no, I'll probably watch the first half, and then I'll catch the highlights in the morning of the second half. I kind of always wanted to go to a Super Bowl, man, but I imagine it's just way too expensive for like regular people to go to the Super Bowl. Tickets for the World Cup, like I looked at tickets for the World Cup, they're just insanity as well. I mean, I guess you people in America are going to enjoy the World Cup this summer, but like, if you want to go to an actual game, like, oh my goodness. Like, one of my friends phoned me and was like, we should go to the World Cup, and I was like, dude, I think it's going to be like $4,000 to go to like one game. Tickets are like $4,000. Yeah, like, who's paying that? It's crazy, isn't it? I'm sure it's like once in a lifetime experience, but still, it's crazy. We've got the best anthem. We do have a good anthem, Scotland, I guess. So that's the one thing we've got going for us. We get to have a sing along for like 2 minutes at the start of the game, and then we get hump. But hey, we were pretty good at singing as well. If you missed the New Year stream, then you missed my wife singing. She was quite good on New Year. You were good at New Year singing. Everybody enjoyed. One guy in the.
Gonna say, "Oh, that was shit."
Someone in the chat said that they got emotional when you sang at New Year.
That's because the
Yeah, football, the working class game. Yeah. Maybe 100 years ago. Maybe Warhammer will be the working class game. You know, if there's one thing to take away from 10th edition, it's that at least now Blood Angels can finally have eviscerators. That was a real pain, or a real pet peeve of mine. Like, we have these giant guys dressed in black armor that want to carve you up with chainswords, but we're not allowed to give them eviscerators. Like, get out of here. That should be like a mandatory thing. It's like, oh, Black Rage, here's your eviscerator upgrade. Assault squads had eviscerators. Yeah, well, that was the thing, right? When we got the Primaris ones, we lost access to them, and I always thought it was weird that we lost access to the chainswords because we had them before. I also like Death Company with double chainswords. You just mean aesthetically, right? Because they can't actually wield double chainswords. The guy I was making on the other stream with the double chainsword, I'm just using this guy like he has an eviscerator, right? Like this is what this model is intended to be, a model with an eviscerator. Flower of Scotland isn't the official album anthem. It kind of is. We used to have Scotland the Brave as the anthem, like because it wasn't that long ago. It was actually World Cup 1990. I remember World Cup 1990. I think I watched it on TV with my dad. Because Scotland played Brazil at the World Cup in 1990, and we still had Scotland the Brave as the anthem back then. But Flower of Scotland came in sometime between. That would be another one for ChatGPT to answer. What year did Scotland start using Flower of Scotland as their anthem? I feel like I didn't remember that it had been Scotland the Brave before, so I couldn't tell you what year we actually changed over. But yeah, we used that for a while. Hello, Matthew. Good evening. How's things? Have you got the cold weather over there? It seems like everybody's complaining about the cold at the moment. You're in like West Coast though, right? Blood Angel's commander talked me into painting a second Death Company Dreadnought. I just started counting out of the sprue. Well, we'll see you in 5 hours, man, because that Death Company Dreadnought takes so long to build. It's ridiculous. I feel like I built two Ballistus Dreadnoughts in like 90 minutes. And the Death Company Dreadnought took 5 hours. It was horrific. I did not enjoy building that Death Company Dreadnought. So, good for you for committing to do a second one. Yeah, it was 1993 that we changed the anthem, yeah. Long time ago. Yeah, so in the World Cup in America in 1990, we had a different anthem. I'm actually surprised that the World Cup's back in America, just because, like, there's so many countries in the world. It's surprising to me that it's back in America already after, like, 20-something years when it was, like, it was there. I actually think it wasn't. It was Italy in 1990, so... Was it not? I'm sure it was Italia 90. So was it 1994 that you had the World Cup in America? So it's back in America again after only like 30 years. Yeah, it seems strange. I mean, I think new bid, you know, like different nations make a bid, so America's bid was probably good. It would have just been the best bid, I guess. It's been cold in Iowa. Diatome says I've been running 2 Death Company Dreads for the past year, and it brings me joy to see others do the same. I struggled this week with the 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts, man. I wasn't entirely sure. USA in 94, says Scuba. France 98, yeah. France 98, jeez, oh, I remember France 98. Now, since it's been in Qatar now, they're no longer hiding that they do it for the cash, I guess. Like the big cheeses at FIFA need more money, I guess.
Did people ever think that it wasn't for the cash?
My wife's asking, did people ever think it wasn't for the cash? I mean, maybe at some point. We enjoyed football for what we thought it was supposed to be, football.
I mean, when you think about what they pay their players,
True.
for the cash, you know?
True, they do pay the players an awful lot of money. I had the USA 94 Subutio. And I probably had Subutio in 1994. That was the game.
And Matthew Bark 6927 donated $19.99 via Super Chat. You are an inspiration, BA. I am very thankful for your time and efforts. Tax Squads for Life, Nerd Face.
See, we have to get Tactical Squads back, because Matthew was always super chatting about them. Thanks so much, dude, for the super chat. How many Tactical Squads do you actually own? Have I asked you that? And when was the last time you actually ran one in a game? Man, I can't... Does Sabutio still exist?
Don't even know what it is.
Sabutio was like, you got like a felt mat and you put it on the floor and you lined up football
I
players
mean, I
and
have a vague memory of
you had to like
it.
ping them around with your
I can hear that. I certainly never played it.
I feel like I had a Sabutio team or two. I do remember Sensible Soccer, yeah. They tried to remake that and it did nothing, unfortunately. The Seahawks are going to win by a mile, but on paper it's just one game, and yeah, when it's one game, anything can happen. A couple of interceptions. Confidence gets rattled. I mean, I guess that's the glory of a big event like the Super Bowl. Wasn't there a Super Bowl a few years back where like one team didn't even score at all in the first half and that they were winning like 28-0 or something and they lost? Which is just absolute bonkers. Like, how can you lose from a position where you're like 4 scores to the good? But I think it happened, right? It's been 2 years since I ran one. Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, I guess 11th edition will give us a real insight on like what the future of Space Marines looks like. Are we gonna end up with just like every single squad or firstborn being replaced with Primaris? Are we gonna end up with any sort of crossover? Are we gonna end up with a new direction? Like, I don't know what we'd expect. The Falcons Patriots game was the biggest comeback by far, and what was the comeback? Remind me. I don't remember the Giants ever coming back from that many points. I know the Giants won it like a season or two before I started supporting them properly. They won it like 17-14. It wasn't a high scoring game, it was like one of the lowest scoring games ever, I feel like. Oh, Damien, that's my team as well, the New York Giants. I don't know if I know any Giants. You might be the first Giants fan that I actually know in real... Well, I'd say in real life, like... I mean, I actually don't know any Giants fans. I mean, I've been to a Giants game, and I went, and it was really friggin' cold. Like, really cold. Like, I couldn't feel my feet cold. And I ended up buying a bunch of merch in the Giants store to put on right there in the stadium, because I was so friggin' cold. And then I came home with all this Giants merch. And I was like, alright, I guess I'm a Giants fan. And I think that was 2011. And honestly, every season since then, they've been the worst of the worst. I think one season in the last 15 years, we maybe went like 9-7. Every other season, it's like 4-12. And every couple of seasons, we just fire a coach, I guess, because in sports, that's, you know, like, it's obviously the coach's fault. It's not the people on the pitch that are actually playing the game that get fired. They still get their, like, millions and millions. It's the coach that gets fired every couple of years. Peanut says, I would love for some things aligned with librarians in 11th edition. We're supposed to be heavy on librarians. We got robbed of our dreadnoughts and now we have no synergies. Yeah, I wonder if, like, in a way, like, the loss of the psychic phase in 10th edition, has that been a good thing? I think I miss the custom. I think one of the things that I miss the most in 10th edition is some of the loss of customization. We've been the worst team in the league for the last 12 years record-wise. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. How many more seasons before we can change that? I feel like that's been. I think like. What's that thing? I feel like it's the bit from Jay and Silent Bob when he's like, "When, Lord? When's gonna be my time?"
Well, for the sailboat. Willem. It's Willem, isn't it? He's trying to see the sailboat in the Magic Eye picture.
Yeah.
You can't.
And you can't.
Everybody that walks past it sees the sailboat.
That's right.
And gets really pissed off because it's been stood there for like days at this point.
Yes. You can't see it.
Mm-hmm. And everyone walks past and goes, "Oh look, sailboat." Sure, he's all done.
From playing both Blood Angels and Thousand Suns, I really missed the psychic phase. Yeah, I mean, like, so I've played against Thousand Suns this edition, and they still have like a lot of stuff going on. I guess now it's all shooting attacks, or now it's all, you know, technically it's not the psychic phase, but it doesn't feel like it changed too much, right? Like when you play against Thousand Suns, they still have all those points, they still do all this stuff. Like, and I feel like I liked the customization the psychic phase brought to the game. I would like to see the psychic phase come back, personally. But then I would also probably like to see granular points come back, where we could like, you know, choose the strength of some of our abilities and stuff with granular points. It did speak up the game, but I missed the psychic phase that was thematic for 40k. Surely there's other ways we could speed up the game though, Marius. Like, one of the ways you could probably speed up the game is if we did, like, you know, like, people always talk about it as, like, the sheer number of rerolls. Like, I thought we were supposed to be getting less rerolls this edition, right? They talked about that at the start of the edition. They were like, oh, don't worry, there's going to be less rerolls. I was like, have you played some of these new Necron armies where they're just rerolling everything and they're rerolling fails and, you know, all sorts of nonsense? And then they also said this edition was going to be less lethal. I mean, I just played a game against Gene Stealer cults where basically all their shooting is AP4 ignore cover. I was like, cool, well, that definitely doesn't seem less lethal to me. If anything, that just seems like it just obliterates all my stuff all of the time. Space Marines really struggle, like really struggle, if they've got like high AP, like that, AP4, and they can ignore cover. Like, there's not a whole lot you, like, at that point, there's no stratagem I can play. Like, what, I'm gonna pay for Armor of Contempt to get a save on a 6. Like, are you joking me? Like, that's not a high percentage play. That's not a play you should even, like, can you even consider that? Yeah, I feel like and then you know, you get, like, do you remember when AdMech every guy has like pistol 5? Like, could you not just balance that better, or like the orcs, could you not just give them like less shots or something? Like, they could cut out a ton of the dice rolls if they wanted to. I don't know. I feel like I missed the psychic phase. I don't feel like I see enough value of it being gone that I'm like, ooh, great, the psychic phase is gone, right? Yeah, still live. Howdy everybody. Hello Nick. Must have been live for a while, yeah. 2 hours, 54 minutes. I'll probably be live for like, I don't know, 15, 20 more minutes. The Pearls of the Warp were so cool as both gameplay, but also the classic 40k theme. It was pretty fun when you fail the Pearls of the Warp test, isn't it? I'd rather have the psychic phase and not re-roll 40 attacks, says Antoni. I mean, I think that's kind of the point I was trying to make, right? Where I was like, do we need to have units that have, you know, I already said I played against Gene Stealers this week. Like, the number of attacks that Gene Stealer unit had was just ridiculous. And I mean, I guess some of our units, the Blood Angels units, some of the numbers of attacks, like on the Death Company, can be kind of, I feel like there's definitely balance that could be improved there, right? Like, get rid of quite so many attacks or quite so many rerolls, or, you know, like, but keep the theme. But I guess we'll see. We'll see. I mean, 11th edition it's coming in the summer, right? Like it or not, it's coming. I'll be here for it. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream. Like, you know, I'll be excited for it. There'll be a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people playing it. There'll be a lot of people watching it. You know, I'll have all the same sort of content that you normally expect, like the datasheet breakdowns, probably do some tier lists. We'll do a bunch of maths on the different units. So I mean, it's all coming.
Your pleasure.
I think a lot of people miss Librarian Dreadnought, but the other thing that I miss, like, not just the Librarian Dreadnought, the other thing that I kind of miss is, like, when Psychers had a little bit of customization. You know, it was like you could pick a Psyker, and then you could pick one or two powers that would actually synergize with your army. You know, like I was already saying, like, Blood Angels really struggle if you're going to be hit with, like, AP4 no cover, right? That's like a real, like, hey, we're just gonna die and there's nothing you can do about it. But, like, if you go back to 9th edition, if you knew that's something that might be in the meta, you could be like, well, what about the Psyker with the Psychic Fortress, which was like a psychic power that you could do that gave you like a bubble of 5-up invuln save, right? And yeah, you still, you know, you had to cast the psychic power and it wasn't 100% reliable. But it was pretty cool to have the option to be like, I know I might fight against this super difficult to deal with, you know, AP4 no cover, but I do have a psychic power that could potentially negate some of that, right? And I think one of the things that I feel like the psychers that we can pick these days, you have one sort of, they all have the same shit, right? Like, they all have a smite. It's kind of average. Maybe some of them have a slightly better smite, but it's basically they all have a smite. They all have one sort of arbitrary power that can only affect the unit that they're with. Like, essentially it's just a leader ability. And then there's nothing that's really going to change too much, or there's nothing that really gives them very much customization. And I feel like they were a lot better. And I don't, you remember before there was like 10 different disciplines, and each one had 6 different psychic powers, and you could only pick 2 or 3 psychic powers per game, and all this nonsense, right? Like, we could simplify that a lot. We could be like, okay, Space Marines, you've got 3 powers. These are the characters, pick your powers. And you know, like, it doesn't have to be quite on the same bonkers level it was. Because let's face it, like, remember when there was like 10, like, I can't even remember. There was the Obscuration discipline, and there's like the Librarius discipline, and there's like the Sanguinary discipline. Like, pretty much people took there was 2 or 3 meaningful powers, and then there's like 4 filler for every single one, right? It wasn't like every single one, it's like, oh, you could have this power, this power, this power. It is streamlined now, but I'm trying to say, would it be better to go back to somewhere in between? Like, just now is too streamlined, before it was too abstract. Like, could it be that Space Marines have 3 powers? You know, or something like that. I don't know the answer, but I think that there's improvements that could be made for sure. Hello Richie, good evening. Damien says, I found a Blood Angels listing, 1,400 points, every character included, $400. Is that a solid deal? Is it painted or is it unpainted? I mean, it's probably a solid deal for 1,400 points anyway, because I feel like $100. I feel like $100 is going to get you 200 points of stuff. Right, like it's going to get you a character and a box of 5 guys for $200. Because I always hear that Warhammer's more expensive, but I mean, a box of 5 guys and a character in the UK is like 70 or 80, so that would be $100. So if you can get 1,400 points for $400, yeah, I think that's a good deal. If they're painted, it's a great deal. Go back to 2nd edition and warp cards and a deck of cards. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about, like, add a bit of randomness in as well would be cool. I mean, the problem, I suppose, Matthew, is that they've tried to make it, like, so competitive now. They're trying to get away from some of the randomness. Whether we like that or not. I think the game was possibly more fun when there was more randomness, but I don't know how well that leans into super high-level competitive play. I mean, I guess it doesn't, right? 6 main disciplines and 1 for each of the chapter. Yeah, so I'm thinking that's much. I think that's the problem, Phil. Like, that was too much. But I think what we've got now is too little. Like, I think there's a bunch of librarians that we just don't really care about, right? Or there's a bunch of I feel like there's been a bunch lost, right? Was it not cool when it was like, oh, I'm going to take a Terminator librarian because he doesn't need to join anyone, he's just going to be here and he's going to do his powers and etc, etc, etc. There's a nice bit of red around this Death Company's foot. Yeah, I'm just doing base coats at the moment, man, so I know it's a bit rough in places, but plus it's getting late, so my eyes are sort of starting to get a bit tired as well. But you know, I'm feeling good about the projects I've got going at the moment. Like, I'm just enjoying getting more Death Company painted. I feel like I put this Death Company Dreadnought on the table, but I haven't actually picked him up at all, so I guess I'm just focused on infantry at the moment. But yeah, Wednesday night this week, either this week or next week, I'm going to take one of the Wednesdays and I'm just going to be here painting. Because I'm basically at the point where, like, I think I'm going to go to a tournament in the summer. Like, well, I'm 100% sure I'm going to the tournament in the summer. I don't know if that's going to be a 10th edition, or I don't know if that's going to be an 11th edition tournament. So I think in the interim, I need to just maybe do a tiny bit more painting. So one of these next 2 weeks I'm not going to play. Has the terrain always been the L-shaped stuff? No, they change the terrain almost every edition, man. Yeah, you're right. We used to be able to have the Psychic Fortress and the 5-up Feel No Pain on the Standard of Sacrifice, Phil. Yeah, I think, you know, I really used to. You remember that captain I used to always run on the bike, where you could give him like a once per game 3-up invulnerable save, and he could re-roll that save once per game or once per turn, and he had a 5-up Feel No Pain. And he had like 8 wounds, or maybe it was 7 wounds. I can't quite remember. But I really feel like I missed. And I think he had a 2-up armor save as well. I think it was even buffed by the shield to a 1-up armor save. So you had a character with a 1-up armor save, which means even if he's hit with AP1, he's still saving on 2s. He's re-rolling 1 save per turn. He's got a 5-up Feel No Pain. He's got like 8 wounds. Like, I really missed that. And then you could basically name him, you know, because he was a generic chapter master. He's your model. He's unique to you. I miss that. Is it going to be U-shaped ruins? What, next edition? I mean, it might be. I don't know what they're thinking with the terrain. I don't think terrain this edition has been too bad. I think secondaries this edition have also been pretty good, because secondaries last edition were really bad. So I feel like they have been iterating and improving on things. Like, it definitely has been improved over the last... Like, 10th is definitely an improvement in some areas over 9th. But I feel like there's some areas that could maybe be back... Not rolled back, but like... improved a little bit. Just says, where do you want me to submit a list? Just do it on any of, like, literally on any video that I have. You can submit a list on any video. On the live stream, you have to wait for the live stream to end, and then you can just post your list as a comment. How are you getting on, love? You struggling?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
I've forgotten what it is.
Are you trying to do that flying thing?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
Is it not Pathfinder?
Yeah, right.
Speaking of remember when people actually use the Sangre Priest when it could have a jump pack? Yes, I do remember that. I think the Sangre Priest really needs a jump. Like, it's the age-old problem of like Corbolo not having a jump pack as well, right? Like all of our good melee units, or maybe all is a harsh word, but like most of them that people will field have jump packs. So the second you make a character without a jump pack, you sort of massively limit what he can be used for, or when people will want to take them, right? It's a tricky one. I feel like if they bring back Corbolo and he doesn't have a jump pack, I'm going to see that as such a wasted opportunity, because it's going to be like, great, we already had a Sangre Priest without a jump pack. Now you're giving me a Sangre Priest, like the high Sangre Priest, also without a jump pack. Like, the units that I want this guy with have jump packs with. It's as simple as that, right? I also agree there shouldn't be any guns that have 72-inch range. I don't know why. They're like a legacy thing. Like, guns that have like 72-inch range. Has Corbolo ever had a jump pack? No, but I think in one of the editions you were allowed to give characters upgrades ages ago, and maybe could have been given a jump pack. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like there was an edition where you could give characters war gear. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just a regular Sangre Priest that had the jump pack way back when. I can hear one of my kids crying, so I was kind of getting to the end of the stream anyway. How long we've been live? Yeah, like 3 hours, 10 minutes. Okay, so probably just because my wife's already dealt with like a couple of kids that have woken up during this stream, I'm going to go in the next couple of minutes. I'm just going to finish this paint on the palette and then probably help my wife deal with these kids. There should be nothing that still has like 72-inch range. It just removes too much. You know, there's got to be risk versus reward. If you can just sit on the very board edge and just shoot. I mean, it was even worse when it's indirect fire, right? But like, I think that... I honestly wonder if what the point of having any gun with, like... I feel like the table's 60 inches from one end to the other, right? So there should be no gun that has more than 60 inches. Because that's already saying you can shoot from the entire end of the table. The only way you would not be able to is if you were in one corner to the very other corner. But you're never going to get that line of sight, right? Because there's going to be terrain on the table. So I feel like you should have no gun that has over 60 inches, but ideally powerful guns like the Necron guns, what are they called? The Doomsday guns? Or the whatever guns the Doomsday arcs have. I think they should be 48. I think they would still be strong at 48. I just think it means you can't park your Doomsday arc on the very edge of the board and just shoot right across it, right? But these are my opinions, and my opinions in the grand scheme of things don't really mean all that much. They're just one 40k player who's vocal I guess I am vocal. And I like to say my 2 cents. It's your weight.
Yeah. Try and get out of it.
What's the matter? Alright, I'll go deal with it.
Yeah, nose.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's my turn anyway.
And you're like, what is it? You should be like, what is it? Use words. Explain.
Use your words. There you go. Guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I do appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. We'll be back tomorrow at 8ish to look at army lists. If you need to submit a list, put it in the comments section. Yes, you can put it in from, what did you say? New recruit. Yes, a new recruit link is fine. An export from the GW app is fine. Any sort of software that you have that just puts a link, the thing out in text format. It's totally fine. Really nice to see you all. Yes, she's still crying. So it is my turn to deal with that. Good night, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks so much. Take care. Thanks for the super chats, guys. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Long time. Good night. Long time. Long time. Long time.
I don't know what to do with it.
you.